Why, hello, friends. Hi. Happy Friday night. There we go. Or as Sword says, ooh, and that makes me deeply uncomfortable. So we're going to ignore that one, and we're going to get ourselves some Stormgate action. I'm just waiting for picks and bans to get started. This is, of course, two best of... Oh, whoa, it's still bad, Sword. It's still bad. Maybe it's not as bad as Uwu, but anyways, this is two best of fives that we have this evening. We have, of course, it's Nina and TheoRy. That much is known, but it's kind of fun, right? So Nina plays Celestials, who plays Vanguard, both at a pretty high level. Now let me move this chat window over. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Hello, BeoMulf. Don't be mad. I don't even know what you're doing there, dude. But yes, anyways, so this is two best of fives. This is gonna be pretty cool. So again, it's gonna be TheoRy. TheoRy's playing Infernals the entire time. We have Nina playing Celestials. We have Nina playing Vanguard. Is gonna be the story of that one. I'm just waiting for the picks. I'm just waiting for the bans. That's what we need here. I know Nina is streaming. All right. Let's check in on Nina's stream. As Rusty's just telling me, telling Sword that he's been ignored. Wow, that's a damn shame. By the way, of course, if you want to support this is a base $50 prize pool. But there's also Matcherino, as Rusty Shacky has already put $25 into that prize pool, which is very generous. Thank you so much, Rusty. And someone else put in another 10. I'm gonna pull that up. Staged Games putting in $10. Here we go. Thank you very much as well for that. By the way, you say Smoge, Sword? You know, it's Smudge. Smudge is the important thing. New Elf is not playing this evening. Elf is playing Sunday. That's gonna be Stormgate Sundays. Even if I'm using the branding for it, I didn't have time to make another stinger. But yes, this is the Stormgate Double Down or Stormgate Double Dip, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't really matter to me. But it is the Stormgate something. Sorry, I got. You know what? Fair. It's okay. We like Elf. We support Elf in this household. Elf is fantastic. Nina is in the middle of a game. Nina is 27 minutes into this game. I think it's a Celestial Mirror. Well, actually, I don't even know. Yeah, it's a Celestial Mirror. I'm looking at her mini-map. Doesn't see anything on the map. Sonic, tell me what is happening on TheoRy's stream. Oh, never mind. I have a notification. Ready. They are ready. Start. Loser pick. All new tier 3 units are pushed back until further notice, Swarm Prime. Where did you see that? Because, or are you just saying from the from most new tier 3 stuff being on the future but not 0.2.0 patch that we saw last week? Oh, the roadmap. Okay. Yeah. I was like, I don't know that that's further notice. It's just not coming in the October patch, because they've talked about in one of the interviews, they talked about wanting to do a patch every 6 weeks or so. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen like over the holidays, but wanting to have a patch every 6 weeks or so. So I could see it happening in like the December patch. TheoRy, thank you so much there for the tier 1 sub at 8 months. Does this mean he's stream cheating? All right, so Nina says that she is ready, but she's also still playing this mass late game Celestial Scythe Vector versus Scythe Vector. The October patch is the zero. Okay, Nina is done. The October patch is the 0.2 patch. TheoRy says, hi, thanks for casting and streaming so I can stream cheat. I got you. I got you. 3v3 isn't, so October patch, I need to pull up the new Stormgate roadmap, because I'm forgetting. There we go. Okay, let me. Sunburst, thank you so much there for the Prime sub. I really appreciate it. So, the alpha playtest, the very first playtest of 3v3, Team Mayhem is what they're calling it, is in October. There's Chapter 0 campaign improvements, whatever that means. Not sure. There's going to be a new Vanguard hero. This is likely going to be the Korean-focused hero that they talked about in their trip to Korea with the Kakao press release a bit ago. Also, hero skins. That's cool. Improved map terrain. So the map, I mean, they massively improved the way the map looks in 0.1, but I assume this is adding in the doodads and things that they have. We've seen in some concept art that is not totally there just yet. Also, art and audio. So if they can really make audio a lot better, that's gonna, and there's of course going to be a balance patch as well. And then I would read, well, that's actually, I was going to say in the future, I would read that as being the December patch, but we know the map editor is not until 2025 early. We know Vanguard chapter anyway, so stuff is going to be in the future. But we'll see. They did not say 2 weeks until the next patch during the last patch. All right, so Broken Crown and Titan's Causeway, they've been banned away. Curse Resolve map 1 or 2 Imba. What's the meta like so far after the patch? It's hard to tell. I haven't had a chance to play this week. I've been very busy with other things. I know at the very beginning, Road to Rank 1 3v3 ladder, I gotta get I gotta get Albino in theory to carry me, but maybe. Anyways, so the new meta in 1v1 host patch, which again, a lot has changed in the previous week. Looks like we're gonna do Furious Resolve map 1 loser pick. But yes, Weavers have been a lot of the answer. Turns out people realized, and I didn't realize this at first. But yes, so people realized that Weavers, if you set their abduct to autocast versus Celestials, are very, very, very good. Because I was using them and I'm like, oh, this is okay, but you're having to click every and it's a little finicky. And they're like, no, just set them to autocast. They're gonna abduct anything over 5. There are people to abduct anything over 5 supply. Like, just have fun, or don't have fun. You know, up to you. But really, it's not even the ability to walk over units. Rusty, thank you so much for the 1-bit cheer. It's not even that they can walk over things. It's so much as the abduct does percentage damage, and they don't die because they're 580 HP and they are light units. So they don't die and they do a lot of damage, and that is all very, very good. And sword. I should up the minimum. I should very much update the minimum bit that is able to be cheered, but that's fine. Cosmic Viking, welcome. Hello. We are gonna get into game number 1 of this series fairly quickly. Skill issues is that Theory's account? Yes. All right. Why do players not use account names that actually are their account? Is autocast abduct super oppressive? I feel with animancers they should be somewhat manageable. No, the autocast, again, this is what I'm hearing. I haven't had a chance to play this week, but my understanding from hearing people complain is, yeah, it's pretty oppressive because like it's just all the sabers get abducted. Animancers might get auto abducted. I'm not sure what their supply number is actually, but a lot of important stuff gets abducted. It's not as good versus, I know people have been complaining about Vanguard players have been complaining about Weavers because they don't die. Oh no, you have a unit that doesn't die to a single volley. Oh no, your extras aren't super oppressive. Whatever you're gonna do. But again, as we take a look at this, it does mean that Weavers are pretty good against Lancers because they're pretty tanky. Animancers force supply. Thank you, Sword. So Animancers do not get auto-abducted. I want to say the auto cast is 5 or higher. I want to say the auto cast is going to be 5 or higher. And we're just waiting for TheoRy. He's changing his name, so we actually have TheoRy in the game and not... There we go. Okay. Gonna be ready to go very, very soon. In fact, we have TheoRy in the lobby. I'm just waiting for Nina to ready up, and we are gonna go. There we go. All right, game 1. Dogs should have Yamato cannon to balance things. I'm not sure that I buy that one, but you know, y'all can have some balanced suggestions. What I do have for you though is game number 1 of this series, Ana and TheoRy. It's spawning in the upper right in the red. She is known by Ana here in this game, but you may know her. She is Nina. And at the bottom left in the blue, playing the Infernals this entire time, this best of 5 and the next from Aftermath. His name is TheoRy. I love the balance suggestions we're getting in chat right now. Really fantastic balance suggestions about brutes blowing up as they split, dogs having Yamato cannon. I can think of no issues with this whatsoever at all. No problems. Absolutely zero problems here. But of course, I would like to remind you all that if you do want to go support this event, there's a Matcherino, !Matcherino in the chat will give you that link so you can go and support these players. Like Psionic just gave $50. By the way, this $85 is actually $135 because this is a $50 base prize pool. Psionic just said, yeah, okay, we're going to make it even higher. The sponsor has not added the prize pool to Matcherino just yet, but massive shout out to Iron Steel for organizing this one. As we see Nina, of course, going for a bit of a quicker expand, going, well, collection array into the creation chamber because you have the ability to go and drop that Sovereign's Watch and get some damage done. God, these balance suggestions are just... We should give dogs 50 armor as they run around. But anyway, so Nina, again, playing a little bit greedy here. But TheoRy, what's the odds? Is this a single vault? Yeah, no, double vault. Okay, double vault opening coming out of TheoRy. I think going double vault expand makes a lot of sense right now. Because you have these units early, because you have these more powerful units early on into the game. Or I guess you have these more brutes and fiends early into the game. You can take creeps a little bit faster. You creep on the map a little bit faster than your opponent does. And what that means, as we're going to see the Arc Station on the way pretty soon, some sort of, yeah, double Starforge on the way. What that means is that you effectively get your second vault for free. The first one, you got to pay for. Second one, you get the value of it very quickly by taking all these unit or these creeps on the map. And then you can go expand theoretically, and there we go. Okay, expanding in the health zone, so harass is not quite as strong. And you just put a lot of pressure on the map. You make life very hard for the Celestial player early on. Now, of course, Sovereign's Watch is going to knock down a lot of these fiends, but there's no link node, there's no strike node, there's no true static defense at the moment. And by slowing this down, by putting us onto, what are we on? Putting us onto red, yeah, onto red energy, everything slows down. All of the mining, all of the, not the mining, but all of the production, all of the bonus benefits that Nina gets here slow down quite a bit. So she's gone vectors here in this first game, and that will get infested just a little bit. But as power becomes more available, well, the Hexen should just die, targeting that down. Actually not going to find what it wants and teleports back home. But Nina survives this. Yes, has to spend some power. Only 17 in the bank. Actually, oh, we recovered another power. Power bank goes up. But that pressure doesn't get a lot done. This collection array, as we start to go into green power once again, the collection array is going to start to go and be a little bit happier and do everything that it needs to do and heal itself right back up. But again, TheoRy, by putting this pressure on, has put the fear of God into Nina just a little bit. And that means that, hey, that's going to be an energy camp that's going to get taken down. And, you know, of course, bonus damage to light is very nice with these, yeah, there we go. With the Cartesian Cannonade. that it has. +6 damage versus light means you actually can do a pretty good job against not the brutes, but the imps. Or the fiends, excuse me. And that can be very nice. So again, just hiding for now. Is Nina transitioning into anything? Not really. Getting an ascension matrix. So scythes will be the order of the day. Something like that. This is a really fast tech up that I'm used to from previous patches. Well, they did intentionally make the patches, or they did intentionally make teching up much faster. Much faster in this patch than the last patch. They pretty much cut down the time it took to go from tier 1 to tier 2, and just about in half, maybe even more so. I forget. It was I want to say it was 40 to 20 seconds. But they just made it not quite as fast as it used to be in like early access V1 or in like Elephant or something. But certainly faster than it used to be. So Nina, of course, taking advantage of this scanner to go and claim camps back, to go take some creep camps for herself and get them for free, which is, again, it's valid. Will she hold on to this forever? No, not really. The scanner can only do so much. But she can play whack-a-mole back and forth. Of course, fiends, they don't shoot up. And that means that Nina's getting some of the camps on the map. Not everyone, but a reasonable amount. And that is the good question, whether it's going to be scythes or sabers. I assumed it was going to be scythes, because that's just very good. But instead, it's going to be sabers. Nina getting recall for that move speed buff that you can get from the vectors. And behind this, well, there's going to be a second arc ship. So this is just macro Celestials right now. This is Nina saying, okay, this is a big map. There are spots that are very good for me. This base, for example, nigh unassailable. Meow Indeed asking BeoMulf, how do we donate to this event? Well, there's a match arena. Hello there, Meow Indeed. There is a match arena for this tournament. Exclamation mark match arena in chat will take you where you need to go. There are some codes that we have access to. That's kind of cool. But also, if you want to go put some money into the event, you're more than welcome to do that. As of right now, Rusty, Shacky, Psionic together, they have gone and put $85 into the prize pool. There we go. Thank you, everyone. Is now mass, actually. This is so many fiends trying to run away. Now, of course, the vectors, they do have that upgrade available. They do have, what's it called, recall potential. So they can go, they can take damage, blink away, blink back, and just reset all that damage. But for now, onto the low ground, where they're going to find yet more brutes, because this is the upgrade. But back onto the high ground, the Do-si-do, doing everything they want to find. Now, you still got to be very careful, but the skull's not going to do all that much. And this is kind of hard for TheoRy to go really chase down. On top of that, remember, as we take this setup here, blinks down to the low ground once again and just runs away. This is a lot of brutes. And yes, this is the upgrade that the brutes have. Let me see if I can't even remember what it's called, but plus 10 armor, you get an additional fiend. That's a powerful thing. But also, these brutes, that's like 15 brutes that were all split into fiends, which, you know, fiends are good, but animancers are going to be on the map soon. We're going to have sabers. We have sabers, excuse me. That's, well, actually, I guess no animancer for the time being, but we have sabers on the map as well, which is a ton of splash damage. And that technically is supposed to handle the fiends. I don't know that it necessarily does. And yeah, 0 early game Gaunt production. Soulforge Ascendants, thank you, Sword. I just know it's the upgrade I get in a lot of games. Real caster would know the names better, but, you know, I haven't had a chance to play a ton this week, and we're learning still. Anyways, Lomzo Gaming saying nice. Hello, Lomzo Gaming. Hello, everyone watching from YouTube. I'm sorry the overlay is only showing Twitch out of game. That is something that I've tried to fix and been unable to do so. Restream is being ornery. Restream is being very sad. And there's not a lot I can do about it. I've tried. I really have. But TheoRy only just now getting the third base up. Of course, Weavers with the spam. Everyone talks about this. Weavers with autocast are very strong. Weavers with autocast are very, very strong. Because we take a look at this, the vectors, it doesn't, you know, who cares? But the sabers, they just get automatically yoinked. There's very little interaction required. And even though sabers do a lot of damage, you take a look at this, 60 damage. Weavers are light units. That they don't get that additional 30. There's really nothing in this army. Well, where is the, there we go. There's really nothing in this army right now that takes bonus damage from heavy. I mean, splash damage is good. And these vectors they do bonus damage. They do double damage against light units. But it does feel like you do want to see animators start to hit the field. We just don't see the Therium economy for Nina right now to support sabers, scythes, or sabers, vectors, and animators. So it just gets a little bit complicated. Now, there's a fourth base done. And if Nina wants, she can go and drop a Therium Purifier on the right side and go from there and really start to go a little bit more. But for now, well, there's no Saber upgrade. That's going to take a little bit of time. Core Ascendancy, just, you know, you move faster a little bit, heal a little bit more. This is that timing that we see Wraith Cube talking about in chat. 5 to 7 Sabers. A ton of Vectors. And let's see what can get found out here. So for now, there's the abduct, and every time something gets abducted, right, things die. It's a long stun. Seems like we're making Vectors. Yeah, Cardinal, I played some games when I was playing Weavers, an old patch. I got killed by mass bobs, and it actually worked out pretty nicely. But for now, okay, so taking a look at this, right, 100 HP, 100 HP is the HP of a gun. That means 2 Saber shots, 1 shot. So we saw Nina right there on the bottom side playing around a little bit. Meanwhile, Sabers on the north side poking away, getting a lot of damage done to these guns. Did I say mass bobs? I meant mass scouts. They made mass scouts in the late game to kill off all my Weavers, and it did a surprisingly good job. Tremendously surprising good job. So for now, looks like a base was trying to get set up on the north side, but hey, there's a drop denying that for the time being. And with really not a lot here, well, got to be careful. So the Vector's actually been pulled back, which allows this big Infernal army moving on forward with these Weavers walking like some slow Cthulian horror moving forward. And yeah, Blastos are really good, but as long as they just get soaked on the Fiends, it's okay. It's fine. So now, okay, a bunch of Vectors here. Got to be careful. Staying out of range is the thing, because these Weavers, 5 abducts, that's 5 dead. Well, for now, shot's going to go down. Your scan gets dropped down as well. Looking for the shots. Oh, Vectors are going to jump right on top, but they're just falling down. This doesn't feel good whatsoever. Now, for now, here's the important thing. The Sabers are far away. They're trying to get that splash damage done. And if you can knock down all the Gaunts, there's not going to be that Fiend generation. And now Sized on the field. Yes, they don't do bonus damage to heavy. They don't. But none of the rest of this army shoots up. So the Sabers, they're just going to continue to get their shots, run away. And if you can reset this army, you're going to be okay. Now the Scythes, they don't have Retaliation Matrix. They don't have effectively a bonus 20 damage steroid that you'd like to have. And well, Nina tried to take this fight, but without Animus, it just doesn't feel very good. No, I love this as well. Drop onto the left side, drop Shroud a little bit further forward, which means these units are infested. And there is no escape from this. This big army that Nina's been building for the last 12 minutes of this game. The last 12 minutes of this game not working out whatsoever. And now, well, the Prisms are dead. Oh, man. This Mass Saber idea, I feel like you want Animancers. You want Animancers and Sabers. Yeah, you need some sort of overlapping splash damage, because otherwise, just the damage concentration, you can't get things down. You cannot knock everything down before the Vanguard, or excuse me, before the Infernal player goes and gets all of those abducts. So just a couple things, right? You know, Weavers get some really good abducts. They are so tanky. All right, they have no armor. They don't have any armor, but they have what? 725 HP. That's so much. It is actually so significant. But now Scythes are on the field in a significant way. Bonus damage to heavy. Shrines are heavy. How do you deal with the Weaver? They just pull the Animancers. You know, that's fair, bro. That is very pro. That is very fair. That's what the Scythes are for. And these Scythes are doing a really good job. You know, the imps are going down. The shrine died, but you got to go, and there we go. Nice job. There we go. That's what you want to see from Nina. Goes, triggers the shields early, splits them up. So again, there's not going to be this damage, not going to be this attack. Well, now the Shadow Flyers are going to come in with a second wave, and that shield is done. Yeah, and hey, V5 rocket launcher goes the way of TheoRy as well. So a couple Scythes are on the map. She takes the siege camp, but doesn't actually get the V5. Could Archangel Scythe work? Well, Archangel evaporates light units. Archangel's $185? I'm sorry, I was talking about the game, and I just noticed that people just added a lot more money to this. This is, by the way, before our Iron Steel's contribution. Meow Indeed with the $50. AC with the $50 as well. Sionic saying, had a rough week. Glad to see more Stormgate getting streamed. Yeah, so am I. But like $185, guys. $235 right now for this, the prize pool for these two best of fives. Y'all are y'all are awesome. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for allowing in this case Iron Steel and I to go and make sure these players get paid for the entertainment they're giving us. If the Sabers can kill the Gaunts, the Vectors of Scythe is clean up. Otherwise the Celestial stuff dies first most of the time. Well, I mean, it is two best of fives, Carnival. I think that's effectively a best of 10. But now the Shadow Flyers on the map just finding, well, there we go. They nerfed that. Doesn't matter. That was still a lot of Shadow Flyers. That was like 15 Shadow Flyers going down for one collection array and like a one prism. That's not a lot. Again, TheoRy's in this incredible spot right now where it's very hard for Nina to do what she needs to do. I'm with Elf. Elf, if you drop a couple Archangels on all the Gaunts and drop Avatar as well, that might be used. That might be viable. But man, Archangels are so expensive that it can be difficult. But now this base will go down once again. TheoRy denied the bottom side base for the time being. Now, of course, you got to split away. That's a lot of Shadow Flyers. And Nina's only go sacrifices a couple forward. But anyways, the sides have to run away. There's just no other option. So they're going to be able to run. Shadow Flyer connections are not incredible. Nina has this high ground position. Sonic, you just gifted 10 subs to the community. Thank you so much. Actually, I think it's 12, right? Yeah, you gave out 2 community sub gifts, so that's 12 in total, I think. No, just Twitch just gave 2 random subs. Like Twitch, the website, just donated 2 subs to the community. I knew they were doing stuff like that where just like people were getting random subs, but oh wait, no, okay, I understand that's September with the bonus gifted subs thing. Okay, I was very confused, but thank you very much, Sionic 05. Thank you so much. Your experience with Archangels, they're useless. That's fair. That's fair, Probe. I'm going off of what I saw them do in the Stormgate Nexus. I have not seen them played on this current patch. I've just had a super busy week. So I played last weekend. I cast last weekend. I haven't had a chance to really pay too much attention this week. So if you're saying they're not good, I'll believe you. Avery says bonus September bonus subs on gifted sub. Yeah, I got there eventually. Just took a second. I mean, this scythe count's starting to get pretty significant. Very, very significant size. If they just, it's wild. You look at this, and once the shields are popped, once Retaliation Matrix really goes off, they're doing, what is it? They're doing 32 damage a shot. Like, they just dive on top of everything, and things just die. The Gaunt number is surprisingly ineffective. So Split's gonna go down. Shadow Flyers looking for what they can find, and this dragon is just gonna evaporate here. Plus 20 damage. Ghost tries to heal itself up, and will be fine at the end of the day. Purify makes sure that, of course, that there will be no more infest until it gets reapplied. Sides fall down once again. I like the idea. I like the opportunity, but the upgrade was there. And even still, as bases go down, but scythes are just not fast. I always look at them and it feels like they're slowed down by something. And that means that these Shadow Flyers, they're going to take their pound of flesh, knock everything down, or a lot down. And the rest, of course, now they're going to try to get the dragon again. But that big heal, the moment infest goes down on everything, you got to go purify. You have to remove the infest from this army. Otherwise, everything dies. So now this army that Nina has is, well, counterable in the extreme. It's not uncounterable. There's just not a lot you can do about it. There's the V5. There are so many Gaunts and Brutes and Weavers and Magmadons and everything you could possibly want. Animatrix is going to show up on the field right now, but it just gets targeted down by this, in fairness, very low, but still totally reasonable dragon. And at this point, I'm not sure exactly what our Celestial player is supposed to do here. I think the answer is go to game number 2, to be totally honest. Yeah, Nina has to tap out. Those Weavers, they're a powerful drug, and it's going to be a 1-0 lead. Archangels are an imp evaporation tool. Don't think they work in real battles. It's fair. What is the... I know they do more than 50 damage, but what does the Crashdown do? How much damage does the Crashdown do? Thank you, Iron Steel. Well, don't worry. We got 4 more games, I hope. I hope and I pray. By the way, if those of you that are interested in Stormgate esports stuff that I'm doing, create. We are hosting Isla Dread map number 2. I had a really cool call. I can't tell y'all anything. It's 100 damage, so it does one shot. If you can get on top of the gaunts, it does one shot them. Even with full white health, you do knock those down. Zuki Radio saying Archangels feel amazing to me. Every 5 gift subs is 1 extra from Twitch. Thank you, Zuki Radio. Yeah, they're kind of sitting ducks. I mean, Avatar does mean that their line of fire shot is 15 range. So it's 15 range. So like maybe something, but maybe great at killing gaunts and impact with their sitting ducks, tanky ducks until they lift up. Oh yeah, you know, I already read that. As Weavers are there, yeah, Weavers also remove them. Weavers just shut them down. Hello, Claire. That is my girlfriend. She does not care about Stormgate. We're just gonna get ourselves ready. Oh wait, I'm sorry. It was base 60, not base 50. So it is $245, not $235. My math was wrong. We're gonna get into game 2 just a second. We need Theory to ready up, and we will be ready to go. It does, yeah, it does like a 15 range line, but I don't know how much damage it does. Stormgate Archives, have you missed much game 1 where we saw Nina go on Boneyard, try to go for, you know, quick, go collection array into tier 2 very quickly, build this Saber Vector army, Weavers killed it all, and that was that. So, and then it did feel like playing against the back foot. It really did feel like Nina was playing on the back foot, trying to build these overlapping levels of splash that Weavers just kind of countered anyways. Yeah, it was a pretty cool first game. Important thing with Archangels is to always lift up and fly away before they die if you can. Bring back to the Arc ship and fully... True, yes. Fully heal their Arc shield, their energy. I really did believe that Weavers, without the speed buff, they were just going to be so under... They're just not worth using. So they went and... it was pretty cool. TheoRy had a massive event. I number Nina's units. Oh wait, we are. That was not a full game. So we actually need to take a little bit of a break because Theory's Steam account is someone's trying to actively hack one of our players' Steam accounts, and that's not very good. So we're gonna go to a brief break. Yeah, you know, I hope this doesn't become a Weaver meta patch. I think what they do is you remove I think they're just too tanky is probably the thing. Yeah, so we gotta go and wait a second for Theory to go and actually get, hopefully like in 2FA his Steam account or something, I don't know, but yeah, his that's not good. So we're gonna go to brief break, highlights. We're gonna get just ahead on ads a little bit, and when we're back, hopefully Theory is gonna have a Steam account. Pressure on the map. You make life very hard for the Celestial player early on. Now, of course, Sovereign's Watch is gonna knock down a lot of these feats, but there's no link node, there's no strike node, there's no true static defense at the moment. And by slowing this down, by putting us on to, what are we on? putting us on to ready. Yeah, it's on the bonus benefits that Nina gets here. Slow down quite a bit. So she's got vectors here in this first game, and that will get infested just a little bit. But as power becomes more available, well, the Hexen should just die, targeting that down. Actually not going to find what it wants and help reset all that damage. But for now, onto the low ground where they're going to find yet more brutes, because this is the upgrade. But back onto the high ground, the Dosido doing everything they want to find. Now, you still got to be very careful, but the skull's not going to do all that much. And this is kind of hard for TheoRy to go really chase down. That we see Wraith Cube talking about in chat. 5 to 7 sabers. A ton of vectors. And let's see what can get found out here. So for now, there's the abduction. Every time something gets abducted, right? Things die. It's a long stun. Gotta be careful. So the vector's actually been pulled back, which allows this big infernal army moving on forward. These weavers walking like some slow Cthulhian horror moving forward. And yeah, blast nodes are really good, but as long as they just get soaked on the fiends, it's okay. It's fine. So now, okay, bunch of vectors here. Gotta be careful staying out of range. Flash damage done. And if you can knock down all the gaunts, there's not going to be that fiend generation. And now sized on the field. Yes, they don't do bonus damage to heavy. They don't. But none of the rest of this army shoots up. So the sabers, they're just going to continue to get their shots and run away. And if you can reset the board. And these sides are doing a really good job. You know, the imps are going down. The shrine died, but you got to go. There we go. Nice job. There we go. That's what you want to see from Nina. Ghost triggers the shield. Nice job. There we go. That's what you want to see from Nina. Ghost triggers the shields early. Splits them up. So again, there's not going to be this damage. Not going to be this attack. Well, now the Shadow Flyers are going to come in with a second wave, and that shield is done. Yeah, and hey, B5 rocket launcher goes the way of TheoRy as well. So a couple scythes are on the... If the sabers can kill the gaunts, the vectors of scythe is clean up. Otherwise, the celestial stuff dies first most of the time. Well, I mean, it is 2 best of 5s, Carnival. I think that's effectively a best of 10. But now the Shadow Flyers on the map just finding... Well, there we go. They nerfed that. Doesn't matter. Difficult, but now this base will go down once again. TheoRy denied the bottom side base for the time being. Now, of course, you got to split away. That's a lot of Shadow Flyers. And Nina, there we go. Sacrifices a couple forward. But anyways, the sides have to run away. There's just no other option. So they're going to be able to run. Shadow Flyer connections are doing 32 damage a shot. Like, they just dive on top of everything and things just die. The gaunt number is surprisingly ineffective. So Split's gonna go down. Shadow Flyers looking for what they can find, and this dragon is just gonna evaporate here. Plus 20 damage. Ghost tries to heal itself up and will be fine at the... I always look at them and it feels like they're slowed down by something, and that means that these Shadow Flyers, they're gonna take their pound of flesh, knock everything down, or a lot down. And the rest, of course, now they're going to try to get the dragon again. But that big heal, the moment Infest goes down on everything, you got to go pure. And at this point, I'm not sure exactly what our Celestial player is supposed to do here. I think the answer is go to game number 2, to be totally honest. Yeah, Nina has to tap out. Those Weavers, they're a powerful drug. And it's going to be a 1-0 lead. Pressure on the map. You make life very hard for the Celestial player early on. Now, of course, Sovereign's Watch is going to knock down a lot of these fiends, but there's no link node. There's no strike node. There's no true static defense at the moment. And by slowing this down, by putting us on to... What are we on? Putting us on to ready... Yeah, it's on the bonus benefits. All right, we're back. Not because TheoRy's back yet. We're still waiting on that one. The gall of some people, guys. I mean... ridiculous. By the way, that means if you get a message from TheoRy on Steam, it is not real TheoRy right now. Do not click any links that they are sending. And man, most scams are like really obvious, but they have gotten so much better at like being really insidious. Like the entirety of Team Liquid, a lot of Team Liquid content creators were hacked because someone did a really good job of impersonating a former Team Liquid account manager or something like that, and made that happen. So we're just getting that thing figured out. Sorry again for the extended delay here. We got to make sure that he's okay. Oh, okay. Well, in this case, it's not even it's impersonation. Which, by the way, is kind of funny. I've gotten a couple Discord messages now from people impersonating like really big YouTubers on brand new Discord accounts, where they try to tell me that hey, I am DocM77 or whatever, like, you know, big Minecraft YouTuber. I'm DocM, and I want to talk more about streaming. And I have made a separate Discord account that has all my name and information on it, because that is brand new, because I don't want to I want to separate something. I want to keep things separate. I don't know. Very weird. It never makes any sense. But I've had this happen to me a couple times now, where they reach out and I have fun with them for a little bit, then I report and ban them, obviously. But I mean, people are getting a little. I mean, scammers are getting a little more sophisticated, because all they need to do is they just need access to your Steam account, and then all they need is access to your Steam account, and then they just go and take all the money that, like, losing my Steam account would be devastating. It's 10 years old. It's got hundreds of games. It's got valuable items from Dota and other things. Like, I would be extremely upset. Artosis number 454152. Hey, it's me, Artosis. You mind no, look, Zuchi Radio, that would never catch me. That would never get me. Do you know why? There's not enough Mario erotica in the message, so we're good. We're okay. No. My girlfriend's on the other side of this, and she doesn't really know what I'm talking about. And I just hear, no. No. Yeah, but so no, what I'm doing is they join one server, Everista. They join one server and then message everyone in that server and do all that. Also, for sure, is proud of you. I was planning on going for a run today, and then friends came over. I was about to go for a run. I forgot briefly about my plans to go for a run, had a drink, and was sad. But you know, only so much that we can do. Game number 2 is gonna get started though. Not anything with the heavy tag that gets melted. Yeah, there is so much damage. There's so much point damage versus heavy units in particular. Light damage, it tends to be bonus versus light and splash. And, well, Weavers don't really care about splash. We're going to talk about that more in a second, though. And let's get into game number 2 of this best of 5. There we go. And we are in game number 2 of this best of 5. Eilage Red is game 2. Faux Shures. Subscribe for 22 months. You're 130 out of 130. Now I absolutely owe you a robot. You say that. I owe my PI a robot first, and I gotta defend soon. So, you know. I think making Weavers heavy is a smart, subtle nerf. Only if you retune the amount of versus heavy damage that exists in the game. I think Stormgate. I think if you made Weavers heavy, they would be totally useless. They would still be getting effect. They would just be getting straight one tapped by Exos again, or not again, but they'd be getting one tap by Exos, and it would make Infernals 2 one note as well. Now I'm totally fine to remove. Well, I was gonna say remove the tag, but that's more of a buff than anything else actually. I think, honestly, Shady Cobalt, I think if you remove the autocast, they're probably instantly balanced. Yeah, so again, so Sword is saying, for all the hate this map got, it's the most balanced right now. Yeah, because they changed it. Because they fixed it for all the hate that it got. That's kind of the thing. The map was not very good. It had, well, it just had too many access points in the main base, and it just was very, very painful. But they closed that off. They made it more of a classic macro map, and now it's a lot easier. Now it's a lot happier to deal with. How come they're light? They're huge. Because they're very spindly, right? The idea is that there's some unit that gravity doesn't properly apply to. They're some extra dimensional horror, and the laws of things don't really apply. I guess the logic there making them a light unit. They're kind of very spindly and tall, and not very broad, and not very light, not very heavy, maybe. Grimmy saying they stand on their tiptoes. Awesome. They're very petite, very demure. Kind of funny, right? Yeah, I think I don't know. Unit AI is like simultaneously too strong and too weak, because I'm seeing people talk about autocast is pain because it just targets the spellcasters too well. Well, it's like, yeah, you know, obviously the unit AI is not, you still get stuck on things, but in the meantime, just the prioritization is probably a little bit too strong. Probably adding some random element to that, or making autocast turn on when there are high supply units, but not always autocasting a high supply unit. That might be too frustrating. I don't know. Keep autocast. I don't hate that. Keep autocast, but you have to be in close range for it to work. I kind of like that, Grimmy, actually. That's kind of cool. So you still have that in its intended purpose, which is to make it easier for the unit to be used at lower ranks. But on the flip side, if you want to be a little bit more precise and use them to their fullest potential, you have to go and you can pull them from further away. You don't use autocast. I kind of like that. Yeah, autocast should have no supply priority. Yeah, I'll buy that one too. Although that does make them better when they're fighting non-high supply compositions, like they're fighting like Exo Lancer or something. They're just gonna abduct all the Lancers because they're closer, and that would be pretty good. Y'all, $260. Wait a minute. Who just donated the extra $25? Need to refresh this page. Evarista, thank you so much for $15, getting us up over $200. That's awesome. So let's see exactly how this game goes on. Again, so this is again going to be this vector opener. You put scanners on the map to go and maintain as much of the camps as possible. And again, Nina, because she has that tier 2 top bar, she can go and take these camps that are resource camps are not all that easy to take. So map control again goes to Nina right now with these vectors on the map. And because this map is a little bit more wide open, you have marginally more opportunities to go and to kind of just find as much value as you can to not get kind of pinned into a corner by a ton of fiends and be very upset about it. Oh no, never mind. The skull went down. The skull Asheta didn't find the value that it was looking for. So now Nina again solidly on tier 2. We're gonna have sabers on the way, or scythes, we'll see, on the way pretty quickly, but that tech is now available. The Ascension Matrix is done. Meanwhile, what do we have on Theory's side? What is our tech looking like? Into the main base. Okay, there's the Hellforge. So, Soulforge Descendants done right around that 7-minute mark or so. Eventually, plus 10 armor on the Brutes. Eventually, 3 Fiends instead of 2, which makes it a little bit harder for Nina to play. But for right now, the pressure's really good. And Nina, again, both resource camps. That's a lot of Luminite on the map right now she's taking advantage of, killing off as many Brutes as possible. And these Brutes don't touch this. These Brutes, properly microed, the Brutes do not. They don't get shots off. They don't get, I guess, attacks off. And that means that Nina just continues to poke away. This continues to make life complicated, difficult for the Infernal player right now. And now eventually we're going to have, oh, I saw it. I clicked on. We're still going to have Hellforge Resurgence, right? We're still going to have that eventual more tanky. So you really don't take as much damage. We're going to eventually have that additional Fiends that make it very hard, very, very hard for the Vectors to fight through. So there is that. And Nina just continues to poke away a little bit, shuts down, supply blocks Theory. And as long as you continue to run. Now, there's no upgrade, there's no recall potential, so these Vectors, they can't find anywhere else. What you see is absolutely what you're going to get. They can't go blink back in, do the really nice fancy feat, but they can play around and kill off whatever they can find. They're speed buffed a little bit, you know. And again, behind this, where are we going? What is in production? Okay, so recall potential is going to be there. Have there been any? I haven't seen a single Saber. Nina just massing Vectors in this game. She says, this is fine. You're going to stay low tech. I'm going to stay low tech. My Vectors with recall will kill all of your Fiends. You don't have a lot of damage. And if I can kite away onto the other side of the map, if I kite away onto the other side of the map, I'm going to be fine. Nightfall Infestation goes down. That's 25 Animus down the drain. Did the hacking issue get better? Orsom asks. Well, apparently there never was a hacking issue in the first place. Someone just spoofed TheoRy's account. Someone pretended to be TheoRy, so it is imposter syndrome. Not actually going and doing anything else. Not actually going and hacking TheoRy, which is realistically it's going to be much better. So for now, Nina just continues to kite away. She forced a ton of these fiends onto the map, and fiends are good, but you'd rather have brutes into fiends than just fiends overall. What do the circles do? So these circles on the map that we're looking at right now, if you're asking what do the circles do, that is where the vectors will teleport back to. Oh, by the way, I didn't even notice this. I'm sorry, Nina taking a very aggressive position here. Tons of blast nodes on the way and just going to start to push forward into this base coming out of TheoRy. And with these sizes on the field, with this single, I guess there's a second Weaver now, this is not an easy position to get broken. Yeah, eventually the Weavers can go and break these link nodes, these blast nodes down. But you really do need the Hellborn for it. You really need the Hellborn to knock down this stack defense. Now, ducks are going to go off, and there is that, but these blast nodes are here. And scythes are starting to show up more and more. By the way, blast nodes just chase right into the Luminite line. And now, Weavers, where are they teleporting? Just... Okay, well, they teleported to the base. Okay. Bit of a misclick, I guess. But, oh, okay, you know, the entire hotkey. So it's just like, I got more Weavers. I need them to be here. I'm going to teleport all my Weavers, even if I go and, you know, lose some of them. So big abducts again, they're going to go down, but these blast nodes have long as hell range, and they don't do a lot of damage to the Weavers. And now Blake's on top, and again we see this bonus damage against light is very strong. So one Weaver gets targeted down, second one will survive but takes damage, and Nina just blinks out, resets all the damage that she previously took. Right, she does have recall potential now, so this sieged up position with these power banks, with these blast nodes, is doing work. Now she's probably gonna wait. Ideally, you're gonna want to wait for this Shroud Stone to finish up. And again, these blast nodes, they do damage, but not a ton against the Weavers. So you wait just a little bit, right? You wait for the Shroud benefit to go down. You wait for the Shroud Stone to no longer be super powered, and then you go in once again. So now Nina continues to poke forward. Abducts are good. Every time it gets a little awkward for this poke, right? Because every time you move forward, things get problematic. But this, I have done you all a grave disservice, because we've been talking about this push for quite a while, and Nina says, yeah, that's fine, I got sides, or I can go attack elsewhere. Bonus damage versus heavy means that this shrine will fall down, and by the way, you're going to lose a Weaver too. So Nina forced the entire army back into the Naturals, going to kill this Weaver eventually. Target it down. Okay, well, this is expensive. There we go. Okay, the Weaver's dead, as are a lot of the Shadow Flyers. TheoRy just tries to go and get a bunch of the shrines up on the vague chance that one of them survives. But this is a dead base, and this position that TheoRy's been trying to set up, I mean, scythes going down is never great, but if we look at the supply here, you were saying you like the new AoE indicator. Yes, it is bugged for blast nodes. Now, what gets me is I could have sworn the red, not the red energy that we are in right now, but the red base of these nodes, like a red node was a blast node, a yellow node was a strike node, and a green node was, or a blue node was just a link node. I could have sworn they were color coding what they were, but I don't know. They are different colors all the time. Sometimes they're red, sometimes they're blue. It doesn't. Maybe I'm just really dumb and it matches team color. I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb. I think I'm dumb. I'm just realizing that I think it probably is actually team color. No, I'm not talking about the red aura or the green aura. I'm talking about the actual base color. I'm talking about the actual base color that gives you what you look for. So now Sovereign's Watch, which is not just Sovereign's Watch, it's the upgraded version, as we can see that with that really powerful laser. So this run by doesn't do anything. So yeah, you see, we're yellow power right now, but the base is still red. And yeah, I do think blast nodes probably shouldn't track for forever. I think Stormgate in general has a problem right now where static defense is just too strong. It is really just too strong, and that does make life more complicated than it should be. Now, only a Sovereign's Watch to defend this means that Nina will lose this base. Collection rate is not even trying to lift up, and yeah, well, never mind. The collection rate I forgot that you could fire from the lifted collection rate. So the collection rate just sits firing there. Is like, this is fine. This is okay. But it has forced all these sides from Nina elsewhere on the map, which gives TheoRy some breathing room. He can go. He can take this double Therium patch up on the high ground. He's going to take the double Luminite base. He has this base set up. He's been able to reestablish, actually double shrine this natural. So the Therium mining is a little bit more effective. And overall, this map control that Nina really did a good job of establishing. And again, she still kind of has it here. This army is massive. And Prime Starforge as well. She still has it, absolutely. But that opportunity is not quite as strong as it once was. Not quite as dominant. TheoRy has had some time to go and develop his economy. But Nina's just about maxed out. And that is the story. That's all spread across the headlines right now. Nina is just about maxed out. She's got Animancers. Do we have... I don't even know where I'm supposed to be clicking for the tech. I'm assuming we have Dark Prophecy. I'm assuming that we have the Spectral Shroud as well. So... oh, Nina just lost a side. That's probably not great, but... yeah, this static defense is not going to do much of anything here. Nina, vision superiority as well, because that Shadow Thrall went down, or that Shadow Demon went down very, very quickly. Nightfall Infest is going to try to drop, but you can deal with this. You can clean this up. In fact, it's the worst possible thing right now. Oh, no. Oh, that's horrible. Dropping Nightfall on top of everything meant that the shield popped, which means the Shadow Flyers didn't get anything done. Oh, worst possible timing right now. And now there's Purify on top of everything. So Nina's going to try to take this fight with the shields as well. And everything in the sky should just fall. Well, this is a bit of a move click, but I think she's going to be fine. Meanwhile, on the right side, taking everything down as well. 268 to 164. And there's just not enough anti-air at the moment. Is really the story that it feels like right now. Yeah, the Gaunts are fighting, and yeah, they're doing something. But it feels like Nina is just winning on... well, I say that. But it really does feel like Nina is just winning on multiple fronts, just a little bit too hard. Yeah, she's going to get forced back for the time being, but I mean, just look at this bank she's got as well. Shutting down a lot of the Infernal production, a lot of the Infernal economy. I guess actually did... oh, excuse me, bug. She really didn't kill a lot of the economy. I expected her to go kill this base, but she didn't. And now this base is still alive for the time being. There we go. It's going to fall down. Ideally, splitting one of these shielded sides away. But yeah, Shadow Flyers still make those connections. And all of a sudden, this supply is a lot closer. Is a lot closer than I thought it would be. Seen Infernal win this game from this position against Celestial like a million times. I'd believe a million games. Sharktopus across all the tests. I would absolutely believe a million games of Stormgate have been played. That doesn't seem really really all that weird. To be honest, a million games is not a ton. That means the theoretical 100,000 people that have played Stormgate since early access. For some estimates, really, I saw some estimates at like 250,000 people. That means that they paid like between 4 and 10 games, depending on how many they are. Like, that's not wild to think about at all. So for now, the sides are going to continue to kite away. Because these projectiles are just tracking unto the ends of the earth. Nina now has every base that should be hers on the map right now. We got this north side base here. So many Star Forges. But she's also got this bottom right. So eventually, and again, it takes a long time to mine this out. Yeah, Grimmy UK is saying, yeah, no, he's absolutely right. JXP has played a million games on this patch, or Jay has played at least a million. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So the collection rate, I think, dies this time. Nina actually never made static defense in this base. Now, again, it's not the end of the world. You only lose half your economy because the prisms are still there, as Nina, again, continues to push on forward. It's all about the anti-air. The Weavers don't matter. They really don't. So the anti-armor is super nice, right, with the Shadow Flyers. That it is. But Nina has enough army, enough vectors, enough sides that it's really hard to fight both sides. That's the problem. TheoRy can hope to win one fight, but winning both, just not taking damage, is very hard. So she's going to go recall the Weavers onto the other side of the map, which means vectors are going to teleport out. They actually disjoint the lash. So that lash doesn't really get a lot done. Meanwhile, push on the right side means the Weavers are not there. And pushing into... I mean, Blast Node range is insane. Oh, look, it's Apoptosis. Hello, Apoptosis. Look at this. 3 arc ships, right? Is this just for healing? Is that what these arc ships are for? Just to kind of heal the units as they go back and forth? Is that what this is? I'd believe that. I don't know. So anyway, Shroudstone gets manifested. That's going to get knocked down. Nightfall Infest doesn't do much of anything. And Weavers, again, when you're on Elder Shrine, which I believe we are, yeah, the Dragon's out. Weavers do a lot. Or HP regen does a lot here. Dives on top of the Dragon's gun. It does not have the upgrade. And that is minus 700, minus 700, minus 300 off the top as well. Theory's been saving up for this thing for quite a while to try to survive up to that point. The moment you lose the Dragon, he is dead. And we get a tie series. It's 1-1. Never mind, he got. Vector's killing a dragon. Yep. Yeah. Is it 150? I was thinking it's 300, but I guess that was changed a little bit because they moved it to tier 3. Buff Dragon. I've seen all I need to see. Dragon's pretty good against Celestials. Dragon is pretty dang good against the Celestials. Yeah, it's 150. Back in my day, it was 300. By the way, of course, if you do want to support these players, you can do like so many people have done. Lost Hope. Okay. Like so many people have done already and support the tournament. Go to !Maturino. Like Psionic and Andrew Chung and Meow Indeed all donating $50 for that. Or, you know, we have a code. So if you go follow Puzzle Kingdom on Twitch, you can add 8 cents to the prize pool. You follow some other people on Twitch, you can add a little bit more money. You subscribe to Maturino's YouTube, you add a little bit more money. It works out at the end of the day. Anything you want to do. And again, we're at like $260 right now on prize pool. That's a pretty good pot for double best of 5. Yeah, Theory was kind of dead. Carnarl. Sword, thank you so much there for cheering the 99 bits as well. And Sergeant Duck saying, you have such a great voice. Thank you. You know, so the reason I actually got into casting in the first place, once upon a time, well, he's back in my day voice. But when I was in high school, no one in my class, I graduating class of 48 people, really wanted to do would do any public speaking. So even though I was not number 1 in the class, I did well enough for myself, but I wasn't number 1 in the class. Which is generally the people they would like, the number 1, number 2, they would have go and give these speeches. I said, I would do it. Okay, I'll go give the talk. So I got a lot of practice doing public speaking in high school. And at one point, the head of school came up to me and he said, hey, Philip, you know, you got a voice for radio. Now, I think he was also saying I got a face for radio, but we grew out of that one. We're good. We are okay. But anyways, said, Philip, you know, you got a voice for radio. Like I like the way you sound. And when COVID happened, I'm like, oh, you know, someone said I sounded good to listen to. Let's try this casting thing. And away it went. We move now into game number 3 of our best of 5. We're tied up 1 apiece. Apoptosis says a voice for radio and a face for Lord of the Rings. So does that mean 3 good movies and 3 bad movies and then a middling TV show? No. Or it's a face for radio and a voice for silent. A voice for silent movies and a face for radio. Is that how that works? Face for radio and a voice for print. Yeah, that also works. Racer 96. I like silent film. I like saying silent films. Anyways, what do we got here? Okay, 1-1 coming out of Theory in this 3rd game. Generally, we've seen him go double vault, but on this one, because there are so many light camps on the map, there are 4 health camps, there are 2 speed camps. getting these gaunts out early makes a lot of sense. It means that you can go and you recoup your investment pretty quickly. Because, you know, these two gaunts right here, they shred. With the bonus damage versus light they do now, they do a very nice job at taking down, especially once you get them to like 4 gaunts, 6 gaunts, something like that. They really do shred these, early game camps, these light camps. So it makes a lot of sense. Face for radio and voice for the books. There we go. Yes, I do have a Lord of the Rings, a Beocaster emote. Yashi, while we're asking, am I Filipino? I am not Filipino. I did not go to school in the Philippines. I just went to private school. So if you're asking that because I was talking about a headmaster, I just went to private school. So that was K through 12. We had a headmaster, not a principal. Because we had to be fancy like that. And Sergeant Duck says, yes, beards do wonders. I look back at pictures from high school and I'm just a giraffe. My neck is so long. And getting a beard really does help. But Nina, by the way, we should talk about what she's been doing. She opened Seraphim in this game. Proxy Seraphim, by the way. Extremely proxied Seraphim. And she's just going to get on top of these. Well, just going to get on top of all the imps. And one Seraphim does not kill a Shroud. I didn't think it killed a Shroud Stone. But apparently you DPS through the Shroud Stone. So a second Seraphim is going to arrive soon. And while Nina is not getting all the camps, she isn't. She's putting a lot of pressure on the map right now. These Shroud Stones are not getting up in time. And there's no greater shrine on the way. This is... I was going to say this might be checkmate, but this Blast Nose... Oh, okay, she's building a strike node. She's going to have to rely on static defense back at home. So all of these... Oh, TheoRy didn't cancel that one. That's so expensive here. TheoRy just has to pull the imps away. Like, this is a full all-in from TheoRy right now, relying on everything that exists. Now, we're going to see an effigy get dropped down. Some of these prisms are falling, but the strike node has to get the damage done. We're going to see the collection array in the main base start to get taken down, and I don't think this gets broken. Collection array may die. There's nowhere for it to... does it run? Does it get far enough away in time? No. Skullashetta. Nina has to pull this away more. I think this lives. I think this lives. And now there's no mining in the main base whatsoever. This is checkmate from TheoRy. A bit of a... Yeah, there we go. Nina checkmates TheoRy in game number 3. It goes up 2-1 in this series. Look at that. How many games in this series? Awesome, it's 2 best of 5s. Awesome, it's 2 best of 5s. This is the first best of 5. Iron Steel saying, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. What is oh my gosh? All right, so we're gonna get map 4. Wait. Did she send a morph core to proxy? Yes, she did, Carnarl. I was just too busy talking about other things, and I was a bad person. Notice Ares Armory Studio that it was not actually being flown off the map, it was getting pushed off the map. So I'm not... The attacks were making that happen. I'm not actually sure how that works. Anyone know of a counter to Animancer Dark Prophecies Vanguard? Sounds like... I believe you leave the game. Don't quote me on that, but I believe... No. More importantly, one thing I haven't seen, and maybe Scythers are just too strong against it, but helicarriers, like a bombing run, feels like that would just take down all the static defense, or not the static defense. Take down all the Animancers that are just there, and certainly Sabers don't shoot up. So... But really, it's splits, right? It's coming in from different angles. Atlas shots on the Animancers, maybe. If you can get to Helicarrier Mass Hornet, it's you're okay. It's just hard. Yeah, it's expensive. Who's winning, Wallace? Stormgate? Nina is up 2-1 in this best of 5. And of course, this is only our first best of 5 of the night. as a Celestial versus Infernal, because then it's Infernal versus Vanguard in our second series. But to do that, we have to get into Furious Resolve. So here we are, right? This is game number 4. It is TheoRy, it's Nina. Of course, Nina is Anna here in this setup. And we got vertical spawns, which means that TheoRy wins the merry-go-round on the speed camp just a little bit. Speed camp is still a little broken, but it's not quite as bad as it is on, as it used to be on Lost Hope. Still is on Lost Hope. But vertical spawn Lost Hope was just a disaster, where whoever got the speed camp really did tend to win the game. They changed it around a little bit. It's not as bad, but even still, I am very strongly of the opinion that speed camps, I don't know, I have opinions. I like camps in general. I do like taking camps in general, or I like camps in general. It forces me to be on the map. It forces me to go and play around with you know, play with my opponent instead of just kind of turtling back at home. I think on 4-players map, though, a 4-player map, Nina, do not lose this prism. Nina, do not lose this prism. This is not allowed. You're not allowed to lose this prism, but she's going to get it back to the safety of the collection array. It's going to start to heal up, and we should be good. Yeah, we're good. It's healing. So, well, maybe not. Maybe not here. Nina has to pull this prism way far away. It accelerates, shot goes, and now there's no healing. Now Texan will fall, and 14, 12, 10. It dies here. Maybe, but it gets back up to healing. So barely. Nina barely keeps that prism alive, and well, there's our excitement for the day. But now Nina also knows where her opponent is. So again, Proxy Legion Hall on the map. This is Proxy Seraphim once again. TheoRy knows that this is happening, by the way. He saw, well, I don't even know that he saw the Arc Station, but he saw the prisms on the Therium, and it really is only going to be one thing. So now, what is the answer? Ritual Chamber going down very quickly into this game. Single Conclave expand. This first Seraphim that pops out on the map. So first you get the healing cam. That's pretty nice. You can go and micro back to that. But this position here, you just have high ground. You have high ground position. You can deny a lot of mining. It is very hard for TheoRy. If TheoRy ever is on the map at all, I guess it's going to be very hard for TheoRy to prevent exactly what happened in game 2, in game 3, excuse me, to happen again in game number 4. For TheoRy, he's building up some gaunts here. He knows what the potentiality is, and he is not playing on the map, which means Nina, she plays counter to this a little bit. Counter to this idea. So TheoRy knows this camp has been taken, by the way, because he sees it on the minimap. He sees that it's blue. Nina can just kind of force him to be back home and take the map. You can absolutely do that because, again, the moment that TheoRy moves out, Seraphim dive into his base and deny all mining. So which that really doesn't feel good. So Nina, you know, keep poking with a couple Seraphim here and maybe send 2 Seraphim to take every other camp on the map. But actually, she doesn't even bother doing that because the scanner took the camp in the middle. That's a V5 rocket launcher running in. And remember, that's 70 damage. It doesn't one-shot Gaunts, but it does a lot of damage to them. And if TheoRy's, you know, distracted by these Seraphim, this is a very powerful timing. But for now, you know, V5 is going to go. It does 120 damage to buildings, which means it takes a while to take these structures down, but it will take them down. It was 5 shots or so, especially with the Seraphim here. So that was actually TheoRy as well, spending a ton of Animus to get all these Gaunts down, making sure that he has the army that he needs because his production is under siege. And, you know, 1,000, it takes, what, 9 pure shots from the V5, even less with the Seraphim are taking this down. So this is a single conclave setting up. Zyro999, thank you so much there for the Prime sub. You're fantastic. I really appreciate it. But now we're going to see shots go down on the Gaunts because there are no structures in range. And yeah, TheoRy's doing a really nice job of splitting away, but this rocket launcher is so strong in the early game. Gaunts do not take this thing down. And between the Seraphim and the Gaunts, I mean, it is a significant problem. Now, eventually, the Seraphim have to kite away. One will fall, and it seems like, yeah, okay, now we're kiting away. So finally, this rocket launcher gets taken down. And, okay, Ritual Chamber's done. Plague Axe is never started. It's a single conclave for TheoRy right now. Just does not have what he needs. And behind this, Natural's just about done. You know, is 1 base on this. To be fair, she's 1 base, 1 production structure. That's not great. But she has the Seraphim number. And that really does make up for a lot. So for now, Celesitals is giving a little bit of high ground vision, but we're at the point. Oh, that's unfortunate. I've lost access to YouTube chat on my restream or on my chat tool. So if you're chatting on YouTube, I'm very, very sorry. But we're at the point right now where imps are getting one shot, getting two shot. This Seraphim does not want to be here. Run, burst away. No, it's dead. Nina, unfortunately, rallying there. There we go. Now she's gonna rally with the army, but rallying with things. This is evenish at this point. Yeah, I think that's probably fair. TheoRy took some damage, but he does have a natural, and that, you know, Nina does not have prisms at her natural, so, you know, she got a third base on the way as well, but the economy's not quite as good. But remember also, she's taken every camp on the map. She has access to literally at least the value, at least the money from literally every single camp on the map, which means that, yeah, you know, supplies are one thing, production's not great. There are a lot of gaunts on the map, and that is something that is difficult to deal with these Seraphim. Do we have any additional production? Animancers are getting made. There's no way to get them home, though. There is no way to get these Animancers home if TheoRy decided to run out on the map. Man, you know, Apoptosis, I thought I was going to have to get mad at you for typing in something in a language I can't moderate, but I choose to believe that this is just a copy pasta I'm not aware of. But for now, again, Seraphim, they dive in, they get an imp, they back away, force gaunts into the main base. And importantly, it's not even forcing gaunts into the main base. That's the important thing. It's keeping them at home, right? As long as they're in this kind of core area, this buys time. Animancers can pop out onto the map. You can get this Dark Prophecy. Where is the Dark Prophecy? There we go. Dark Prophecy's done, by the way, so you can go and just set this setup with Seraphim and Animancers and damage and slow and a ton of energy and just really go to town. Are we playing live? Yes, we are, Zyro999. We're absolutely casting live here. The players are playing live. I'm talking to you live. Oh, look at that one. Apparently, Apoptosis copy pasta, by the way, is a World of Warcraft classic copy pasta. Well, unfortunately, I never played WoW. I've never played a game of World of Warcraft. I am not a good enough nerd. I am very sorry. I'm a horrible nerd. This is pre-recorded and pre-watched. Yes, that is true, Sergeant Duck. Pre-recorded and pre-watched. I like, by the way, see what TheoRy is doing here. He's making sure that even when he lost his Hexen, he's making sure he has one on the map, because he can use these Skulls of Shedda to go and cap camps and just give vision on the map. It's actually a really powerful tool that we don't see all the Infernal players take advantage of necessarily. Hey, BeoMulf, your forehead has gotten bigger, must mean you've gotten a bigger brain. I don't know that far. I think that's swelling from bashing my head against the desk over and over and over and over again. I think that is more likely what's happening here. Well, you know, who am I to say? I love that Nina just has this random animator in the corner. Now the rest of them, of course, are being made at home, but it's kind of a cool, right? It's like flanking High Templar. You know, you put flanking High Templar on the map, you go and drop something, and you find some value. But for now, well, it seems like this value is eventually going to get taken down. Nina can't really jump on top of it. I thought that was more than one. Scanner goes down, and there's the cloak. So Animator should be able to find its way out of there. Will not fight, just, you know, takes the unseen veil, runs away. But that's a lot of energy, right? That's all the energy in the system. Nina does lose this north side position. TheoRy banking Therian for Spriggan rushes. Been watching the APOP guides. He's got a voice for print and a head for hats. I actually don't wear hats, Sergeant Duck, so I'm sorry. I do apologize. Look at this. Look at this gaunt here. This is not okay. What is this gaunt doing here? This is not allowed. Yeah, TheoRy is in fact banking a lot of Therium. That he is. All right, so that's going to get taken down. But this, this gaunt army is very, very large at this point. Luckily, I'm looking at the army that TheoRy has. He has not made a single Weaver in this game. He is very Luminite starved. Of course, I think you take on this map. I think you take this base. Well, I think you take them at the same time, but you saturate the Luminite base before you saturate Therium. It's just really hard otherwise. You generally, an Infernal player is Therium starved, but I think he's just too saturated on Therium right now. It's pretty obvious looking at it. But anyways, Animates are sharking around. Look at those. Oh God, the prophecy says that TheoRy's gonna leave this game in half a second. Everything falls down, and that is just so much damage. It's ridiculous amounts of damage. TheoRy gets evaporated there. Oh man, that Unseen Veil does so much. And yeah, you know, Shadow Flyers at the end did what they could. That was 4 prophecies on this immediately. By the way, people said something about there being no bursty moments, no spiky moments in this game. Yeah, someone clip that one. Someone clip that one. Like, yeah, you had an army theory? Yeah, I thought you had an army theory. Clip that, post it to the Reddit, post it to the Discord. But now TheoRy, what's his army here? He's got this double Harbinger drop. He's looking for drop harassment. He understands that he really cannot take a straight up fight. He knows that there is no way that he can take a straight up fight. Not for a while. His army is just not quality enough. Now, Nina's army is interesting, right? Because the supply is not insane. And a decent amount of that supply, what is it? It's 8 supply, no, 12 supply. 4 supply, 222. What is it? It's 8 supply per base, right? For fully saturated mining. So, like, yeah, Nina's got a reasonable amount, maybe 40 supply in terms of army supply. But another V5 rocket launcher saying, this one shouldn't be a problem. You can just go and Weaver. Yeah, there we go. Just auto-cast it even. Just knocks everything down. But, you know, there's no answer for things in the sky. No answer for everything in the sky. And now, well, V5 rocket launcher gets one last shot off. Animancer's sucking. Oh, this is actually super cool because this position, because the Weavers are out of position here, the Animancers, they're just going to suck all the energy off the Weavers, which means autocast be damned. It doesn't matter at all. And now you just got to run. You got to kill it. Okay, it's dead. You got to run. You got to hide. You got to hide. And now, well, this setup is continuing to fall down. This Animancer Scythe style actually seems to be working out very well. Now, this drop on the bottom side is a problem. And of course, you can't really target, you can't choose what you're targeting. They just targets enemy units over neutrals. So Nina will lose the bottom left. And it's going to have, yeah, they just recall back home. I kind of wish we'd stop pressure onto this bottom side map, but I guess there are 2 blast nodes. You want to, if TheoRy's going to play this drop heavy, you do kind of want to strike node 2. Someone was asking for a Spriggan, by the way. My reuptake inhibitors need inhibiting again. That's a reference, Transistor Highway, but I'm not familiar with what that reference is. I'm sorry. But anyways, again, Nina is leery of attacking into Shroud. We are on. We are on Greater Shrine, so that's 3% white health regen per second. Which again, when you're on. Where's my Weaver? When you're on 580 base HP, that regenerates pretty quickly, right? That's 15 white health regeneration per second, almost 18, like 17 white health per second, and it goes up even more when you go up to tier 3. So Weavers are very hard to kill on Shroud. They, on top of being light units and being 580, you know, being as they are, being a 580 HP. That white health regen is a bit of a problem. So TheoRy's trying to go take the top half of the map in the same way that Nina has taken the bottom half of the map. You know, really take this to the late game. But it's hard, right? This is a significant supply lead that Nina has right now. She says, I'm fine with Animancers for the moment. I'm okay with Animancers for the moment. I'm going to build other things. I have scythes. I have vectors. I have a more complicated army. And it's interesting as we look at this. TheoRy, it's not just a misclick. He's built a couple Weavers here as well, which bonus damage to heavy can be reasonable probably against the sides. I haven't seen this. I have, yeah. It can be reasonable against the sides. And that can work out. Very well. But it's all about finding the right fight. If the right Dark Prophecies go down, this army evaporates. Honestly, even if you just get the prophecies down on the Shadow Flyers, you win the fight. But if the Shadow Flyers can run through, they can blow the scythes up. This army is not nearly strong enough. So Nina is being very reticent about how this is going to happen. I see Cardinal saying, Nina, you know, Cardinal saying, well, I'd like to see the Eon Gates, that tier 3 thing that you can go and make happen. I don't know. It's been buffed. I have not seen it in a single game. Where is Nina's town hall structure? Oh, it's right. I don't know where it is. She's on an arc. She's not on an arc fortress just yet. So there is that. I kind of like the idea of getting an arc fortress just for the Fate Ender as well to take these structures down. But now we're gonna see a big fight. Dark Prophecy goes down and just gets stunned immediately here. But let's see how much damage can get done. Blinding Saliva on. I got a misclick there on the shrine. But this Dark Prophecy is still doing so much damage here. And again, it's all about the Shadow Flyers. If they go down, it's nothing here. The sides have no natural counter. More Shadow Flyers are going to start to arrive. And the Weavers are still lasting. But this Purify is making it so that it's so hard to stay on top. The Infest is just not lasting. Nina will have to disengage. But so much of that army fell down. That Dark Prophecy lasted for forever. Forever and a day. Scythes have no natural counters. Scythes, once Shadow Flyers are out, Scythes don't really have an answer. I mean, eventually, for those 10 seconds where they're invulnerable and they're doing 32 damage a shot, they don't really have good answers. But it's after that fact. But do they have natural predators? Yeah, Shadow Flyers. Kind of. Shadow Flyers and Gaunts working in packs together, much like it's funny, actually, there was footage recently, apparently, of a autocast? Not turned on this one. Well, there was footage scientists found footage recently of what was it? Octopi hunting together with fish and then slapping fish that didn't do what they were supposed to do. Zyro999 asking, is there a prize pool for this? Yes, it's $260 right now for the combined best of fives. I assume $130 per best of 5. Iron Steel's gonna have to go and confirm that for me. I don't know, but whatever it is, right now the prize pool is at $260. If you want to go and add to the prize pool, exclamation mark Matcherino in chat, and you can go and add to the prize pool. Well, WraithCube, I'll be running Bly versus Mixu and Parting versus Elf on Sunday morning if you want to go, and I'll have a Matcherino for that soon enough if you're looking to fund some Stormgate this weekend. Not again to take away from Iron Steel's event, but just saying it's there too. It's absolutely there as well. Ooh, Nina doing a late game Argent transition. That's kind of interesting. So Argents, right? When they have opportunities, when they can fight, they do... when they are powered, they do, it's what, 24 damage. Oh, so it's 12 right now. It's I believe it's 24 when they're powered on. And with Purify in the late game, with Animancers, you can make sure they get their energy up quite significantly. Now Nina as well, is she upgrading? No, she's not. So I was gonna say, I would have thought we would get long shot and photocapacitors if we're gonna go for these Argents, right? Plus 50 energy means they fire, I think, 2 more shots before they tap out. I think it's 10 energy a shot, but 9 range while you have energy on the field is actually really solid. It's a pretty good thing. Zyro, you are far too generous. I'll put the Matcherino up. The Matcherino, I haven't made the Matcherino for Sunday, but it'll be there on Sunday. Parting for Zelda gonna be sick. Oh no, wrong account. Elf, you're okay to say you think that matchup's gonna be good. By the way, dive bomb in the late game theory. This is something that Theory kind of figured out in the first EA patch, where you dive bomb, you get that upgrade on their late game Shadow Flyers. Yeah, there we go. Nina just runs on top of this army. Dragon's dead. And as long as you're fighting in that first 10 seconds, as long as you fight under the shield triggers, the Shadow Flyers anymore do not matter at all. They don't do it like they do minus armor. That's fine. As long as you run away before the shield ends, you're okay. And on top of that, I mean, look at minus armor here on, oh, they're done now. So on top, let's just dive in. Once the first thing triggers, the rest of them, the Shadow Flyers, they can't run away. It's very, very strong. So Nina goes, she snipes the dragon, but that's minus 700, minus 700. The Shadow Flyers, the initial shots don't really matter, but look at this. TheoRy goes, he takes the speed camp, and that means that his Shadow Flyers are fast. That means that the Shadow Flyers, they're going to make contact with all of these scythes that much faster. But Nina, I gotta say, I'm a little surprised not building a couple more arc stations or arc ships later into this game, because that just, it's mass healing. It's mass healing, right? It means that you can go retreat back to these relatively cheap arc stations, and they heal everything up. They cast that spell, and they go from there. It's pretty nice. Oh, look at this Animancer run by. Now, the Therium patches are mostly mined out. The naturals of both players are mined out. Third base, still fine for now. Nina, this was her third base technically, so she's kind of had mining a little bit more diffuse. This game 4 is turning into a sick late game. This is turning into a... Nina was in a very good spot, right, for a good majority of that game. But at this point, the map has split. Nina has this powerful base building army, certainly, but it's not easy for her to fight into this army of just about 27. Oh, well, it takes a fight on the other side. I don't know exactly how that worked out. These sides are dead. Looks like a bit of a move command there from Nina, unfortunately. But she has taken down the third base of TheoRy at this point, diving onto the stacked event. Now, the Flaming Imps, if they're going to die, they might as well go out into Blaze of Glory. That's going to be pretty solid, but TheoRy has no Therium. We talked about that bank early on. For oversaturating these first two Therium patches, doesn't have it anymore. Now, he has more here, and he's mining a reasonable amount, but his bank, not great. His bank is not very good. So, as I take a look at Nina's late game, I think I would like to see an Arc Fortress. That means that she could go and snipe this base at the very least, kind of put it on the high ground and Fate end down below. But now, okay, fight kicks off here. The Dark Prophecies are incredible, but they're good enough to zone for now, ideally. And it's all about this fight. So now Animancers, they're going to get abducted. Purify on top of this army. The spell casting seems to be done. How much anti-air is here? That is the true question. If the sides can clear up all the gaunts, it's a whitewash for Nina. Otherwise, things get much more complicated. So the shields are still there on so much of this army, and there is not enough anti-air anymore. The Shroudfall was popped as well. So all that healing, well, it's gone now. It does not matter. All of these Weavers fall down. Animancer, well, that's fine. Nina annihilates this army, and just look at what TheoRy has behind things. Yeah, he's got the Animancer for another dragon, but it's on cooldown. You can't get another one. And this army will fall down. There is, no way this Weaver gets out either. Nina now with a 70 supply lead, and this is a supply lead that, unlike previously, this is a supply lead that seems more likely to stick. Yeah, TheoRy's got core 3 bases on the north side, but he's lost pretty much everything. So he's on 3 bases. Nina has a bunch more, right? This natural still has money to mine. I guess this base is his mine down now, but Nina is up a couple mining bases. She has the supply lead, and it's going to be hard to stay mining on this base. It's 20 out of 12 now. Oversaturation doesn't do anything. 12 out of 12 is anything more than 12 just mines the same as 12, so there is that. And Nina goes, targets as much as she can down. That's just what it's going to be. Splits against the Shadow Flyers because, well, they've already been triggered, but this shrine will fall. And Nina, honestly, I think she might have enough. Shadow Flyer connections, though, are going to be very solid. Very, very solid. But here come the rest of the sides. And again, it's all about the gaunts. If the gaunts are not there, there is nothing, absolutely nothing that TheoRy can do. So more gaunts are going to start to arrive, but the supplies look pretty even. But a lot of those are in fiends that do not matter. A lot of those, they're in imps that, can't mine anymore. And in terms of actual reasonable supply, their useful supply, there's nothing. 20 imps on this Therium patch. 20 imps on this Therium patch are not a solution. So the last of his money, TheoRy goes nice, reasonable splits from Nina. Not as insane as the ones we had earlier, where she just dove on top of the Shadow Flyers once the shield was triggered. Super sick there. But TheoRy 50 Luminite, not a lot of Therium. He doesn't have the money to deal with these sides anymore whatsoever. At this point, honestly, you don't even need you don't even need the shields at this point. Not really. The gaunts just die. There's just not enough of them in this army. And yeah, you look at the supply, it's like, okay, 153 to 140. As long as Nina doesn't die right now and You know, these sides do have to get out of here. It's getting a little dicey. It's getting very, very dicey. Very, very dicey. Nina has to keep some of this army alive. Because Theory is all of a sudden build himself a supply lead. Now, again, a lot of this are imps that are long-distance mining from forever in a day. A lot of this is fiends that don't do a lot right now. But even still. Even still here, Theory is not totally out of this game, especially as Nina continues to kind of misrally her units a little bit. So I like this, by the way. We talked about how it would have been really nice to have some arc ships aggressive on the map just as healing units. Well, there's just this arc ship on the high ground. It gives vision, but more importantly, you can rally, you can retreat units to it, and it just heals the units right back up. It heals these sides right back up. Why doesn't he just attack with the ground units? Yeah, blast nodes. Blast nodes and upgraded Sovereign's Watch means that this doesn't really do a lot. This army on the ground, you need to... the reason that Stormgate really does have a bit of a death falling problem right now. Oh, someone just donated $10. Who just donated $10 redues? Gauntlet. Gauntlet something. It's actually not showing. It's cutting off. Because I'm looking at this on my phone. Anyway, I'll take a look at it in a second. Gauntlet Wizard, maybe? Gauntlet someone. Thank you so much for donating to this prize pool to make sure our players get the money that they do deserve. As man, taking these late game tier 5 creep camps at this point is so hard. All the sides do bonus damage versus heavy, and just look at this. They're Nina's found the angle there. You can do this with all the camps that do leash correctly. They kite back and forth, so you can go and do that. I was abusing the hell out of that with Gaunts on last patch on Elephant, where you would just go and get a bunch of fiends. You could go and kind of just take no damage on the maps on Broken Crown. Yeah, on Broken Crown. But anyway, now Nina has this Therium camp, and you know, while the Therium camps exist, technically, you're never really mined out because you do get a little bit more money. And Theory's been able to redevelop this economy. He certainly has, as Nina goes and yeah, this was Theory's base at one point. Gauntlet Lizard, maybe not Gauntlet Wizard. Yeah, but yeah, thank God it's not the dog meta anymore. That was very painful. I'm very happy. I mean, you know, I'm never gonna go and judge a player for doing what they need to do to win a game. I'm never gonna do that. But the dog meta was not all that fun to watch or play. So I'm very happy that we have these. I mean, this is a really cool late game. This is a very, very cool late game that we're treated to right now. As the Weaver's gonna go and abduct an Animancer, and it really doesn't get to do all that much. Now Nina, not gonna be able to get the Menor or the Luminite over time, but will get these very heavy late game bounties. These getting the creep camps late game. 28, 29 minutes, tier 5. It is worth a lot of money. I mean, we see Nina's bank right now. She could deal with some Therium too. She could deal with, I mean, one of these actually is enriched. She could deal with that a little bit. That would be pretty nice. But as it stands, the fact that Theory has been able to fight his way, or been able to go back into this game, is significant. Significant. Now, I see people saying, well, you know, Theory could do with a dragon if he doesn't have one. I'm looking around. I don't see a dragon. It's going to be very hard for Theory. He needs to buy units, and it's saving up to 700 Therium at this late in the game with how little Therium there is on the map right now. I mean, you're still getting it. It's still a drip, but it's not enriched, right? It is, you mine very, very little Therium out of this. It's hard. It's going to be very hard for Theory to afford a dragon. Yeah, Nina, wait, Cardinal, did he have a second dragon and it died and I just missed it? Because he had the dragon north side here that Nina sniped once she dove into the Shadow Flyers with her shields on. Was there a second one that I just totally missed? Oh, well, you know. The dragon died as Theory had an Animancer. Caster, please. Observer, please, T-Tors. I'm not a smart man. I'm apparently blind sometimes. I'm too busy looking at y'all degenerates in Twitch chat. Doing things, stuff and things. But anyways, so for now, this army that TheoRy has is difficult for Nina to deal with. She is just about maxed out, absolutely. But, you know, these animators, again, the auto casting on, what's the word? On spellcasters, just a little bit too strong right now. Is Nina trying to steal some Therium from her opponent? It's not really going to work out there. Shroudstone manifested will take that thing up, but Nina has mined out this north side base. Has taken a bunch of money from TheoRy into this game. So Luminite setup going beautifully. Therium, it's a little bit lacking. Her Therium income is pretty rough. Now, what has me a little confused, by the way, is I could have sworn up and down, side to side, that these Therium patches, they never fully deplete. They go down to 0 and then they start to kind of start to bounce back up again. And there was theoretically going to be some kind of cool economic management. But I'm looking at these, and these are not mineable. I mean, I guess they technically are, but they're showing, you know, you're not getting any Therium out of them. Once you kill them, they die. Okay, so they changed, and I'm just behind the times. They fully deplete. Oh, that's unfortunate, considering how little Therium there is on the map. So that's actually something we need to start talking about a little bit. Is this Therium patch is totally out, and he's got one more here on the bottom side, and I think that's it. Yeah, these north sides are depleted. It's just this base up. Oh no, that's depleted too. So Nina, only one that can mine Therium at this point in the game. Well, Luminite was always going to mine out. Lukash, it just meant that you didn't get the idea with Therium never depleting. Well, I mean, there is... Come on, this bug. There are... You know, you can get a drip of Therium from the Therium towers, but the theory is that, well, you don't get stuck in these kind of weird late game scenarios where all the gas mines out and or all the tech resource mines out, and then you have to buy some really low tech units, and it's kind of... The late game gets really weird. Yeah, Therium camps and Luminite camps are so impactful right now. Absolutely so impactful. And, you know, Nina's late game, Nina's top bar abilities that allow you to go and just take camps for free. Because these camps are very hard to take in the late game. Extremely hard to take in the late game. Nina's trying to go and steal some Therium from her opponent, but yeah, that's not going to work out. So Shroudstone Manifest will kill one of these prisms. They're effectively scouting units now as much as anything else. Like, okay, what's the story here? What's happening? Slow down because there's a Wraithstone, and away we go. So really the big question now, the big possible question. They shouldn't mine out, says Orsum. Neither the mines. No, they should. Mining out is a thing. And I do agree that in general unit resources should mine out, because what that means is games can end. A game like this, for example, if no one was mining out, if attrition didn't matter, because again, there's infinite money on the bases you have, these games would literally never end. This game would literally never end. So their advantage to, when we talk about this super late game, which I think this is the first super late game, Celestial, and really first super late game I've seen in this game in Stormgate in quite a while. As we take a look at this, what are the advantages? What do players have? So TheoRy, I'm assuming he doesn't have the seismic slam. So this is just a spread shroud onto the map as we see these strike nodes. Well, Nina had the link nodes but wasn't converting them, and now they're dead before they can really do much of anything. TheoRy's big advantage. TheoRy's massive advantage in this game. He can build fiends. Fiends are very hard for his opponent to clear out properly, and they are free. If you get something infested, it turns into a fiend. That's fine. Very hard to deal with. Nina, top bar ability. She can go and take camps for free. It's very easy for her to take other camps, and she does have these really powerful static defense, these blast nodes, these strike nodes. And in fact, Nina doesn't want to fight the army. It looks like. Seems like she's like, okay, well, I have static defense. I have Sovereign's Watch. Let me go turn this into a bit of a base sprint. I think I can kill stuff faster than you can. And TheoRy's just going back home. I don't know if there was something. Did we see some scythes in the main base? I don't think so from the supply. Maybe it was the prisons from early on. I don't know. But Nina now has this opportunity to get on top of the production of TheoRy. Not that that really matters. There's not a ton of Therium. You can't build more Shadow Flyers. This army from TheoRy is effectively all that he's going to have. So Nina is doing a really nice job right now. She gets on some of the production. Now, there's still 4 Twilight Spires in this game. There is that. But TheoRy, really, with the last of his Therium, he's built a dragon. He has the Flayed Dragon on the field, fully upgraded. So many gaunts. Now, size. This is actually such a big deal if she gets this. So, we're going to see this Elder Shrine go down. And what that means, this Elder Shrine falling down, by the way, TheoRy heavily supply blocked. But, again, he's only going to be building Luminite units, and those don't do a ton. This shrine, all of a sudden, this is 2% white health regen per second, not 4. That is a massive deal in the late game as TheoRy tries to go and make sure that he has every advantage from being unshrouded. So Nina, by taking this down, means that this army suddenly became 10% less tanky, which in the late game, when we're looking at all the damage that can be found, that's actually a really big deal. And yes, also, you can't use, you can use some of the top bar abilities. You can use, you can drop an effigy, right? You can use Nightfall or Hellspawn Resurgence, but you cannot use Nightfall Infest. You cannot manifest a Shroud Stone. You cannot go and cover the map in Shroud. Oh, really? Wait, it doesn't revert. Is that true? I had assumed it would. I assumed it would revert, but I've never actually tested it. I've never seen this game state, but that was my assumption. Anyway, so Nina will lose this position, but you know she's mined out. It doesn't really matter. Now she will big power deficit. That is absolutely true. But again, she's mined everything out. It's not like she has a supply cap to worry about. She is maxed out on supply. Doesn't have any Therium, but again, her opponent does neither. She's getting kind of this slow drip from the Therium tower. Grimmy saying it's 80%. 80% sure. Who is winning Lukesh? I think Nina's in a marginally better spot, but she can't remake her army. That's kind of the problem. She's getting a little bit more Therium time over time from these Therium camps, but she cannot remake her army. So really, while she's doing a nice job of cutting down the top bar abilities, cutting down all these other resources that she would like to have access to, it really it comes down to the fight. Both players can absolutely win this fight. It's very hard in the late game. And to be honest, I have never seen a game going this long. I don't know. I do not know how this goes. I really don't. And by the way, it looks like an ad's running. I wasn't able to pause it in time. I'm really sorry, but this will be on YouTube. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hi YouTube. So you'll be able to go and make sure you don't lose anything. Now, I guess it's fine. I was gonna say I'm really surprised that Nina is opting into taking damage from these camps when you can just, again, you can use the top bar ability, you can take him to heaven. But it's not really worth it for the time being. So now Nina's gonna shove in. She wants to get this shroud down. Knocking this shroud down, super duper important. Do we have a greater shrine anywhere? So greater shrine has been remade. No elder shrine, not just yet, because all of the shadow spires, all the twilight spires, they are gone. They don't exist anymore. So there's no further tech progression from TheoRy. He could technically go and spend some of his precious Therium to go and get a Twilight Spire. But again, it's not like Nina's going to be building more. It's he wins this fight or he loses this fight. What campaign mission is this? It's the final one. TheoRy, you know, again, we're all mined out right now. So TheoRy has gone and he has all these imps and they're just going to explode. He's going to turn them on into flaming imps, as many as he can, and they're going to make this fight so much easier. So Nina's at 300, but maybe 50 of that, 75 of that, 100 of that is in production structure, or is in mining, is in resource gathering. All those resource gathering structures that TheoRy has, they will immediately turn into fighting units. So Nina, okay, this is a good start here. These Dark Prophecies are really strong. And again, this is trading energy for HP. That is something that is very nice. Again, when you have the health camp, which TheoRy does, both players do, the healing is not really going to be there, but Nina takes the vision camp. And that means blinks forward here, tries to get on top of a Weaver, blinks back. Okay, step one. Poking and prodding. Let me see if I can click on the low Weaver. That seems like 4% per second, so I will buy that one. It's the time to send a raise. Prisms into some shadow flyers, right? That's gonna be cheaper. Send the prisms into the shadow flyers. All right, so now an abduct. Oh, that's a big. Animancers are expensive, but again, oh, excuse me, because Nina has this trickle of income from. Oh, actually, if a fight's happening in earnest, triggers off a couple. And again, any Nightfall Infestation there, nice slow, makes it very hard to run away. But now we're gonna go, and imps are not really gonna get an Animancer, okay. But remember, exploding these imps is expensive. It is very expensive to commit so many. Getting a single Animancer, a single Vector, probably not worth it. But Ina's just taking this slow, steady fight. She understands that, again, taking a straight up fight into this is probably very, very hard. And it looks like, okay, with the slow trickle of income, TheoRy did build an Elder Shrine once again. Huge buffering, not on my end. I'm not dropping frames, Super Jew Fly. So it looks like it's on your end. I'm sorry about that. Maybe Twitch is being weird. Twitch, depending on what server you're on, sometimes does like to go and just buffer everything and make you pretty dang sad. So that's not great. But anyways, Nina, now again, this damage doesn't matter. Wait, is there an Aeon Gate somewhere? Aeon Gate on the way. Okay. And everything's going into, where is this Aeon Gate? Where is it elsewhere on the map? There we go. Okay, Aeon Gate on the left side. Nina taking advantage. By the way, everything's in this. Literally her entire army, short of these sides that I don't think can go in, is in this Aeon Gate piece. She's identified that the army's on the right side of the map and it's fairly immobile. Aeon Gate is just about done. Now, these effigies, they give vision. So Nina's gonna know and dives on top of one of the Weavers, knocks it down, and then just has to run, of course. But what she's doing here is just really buying time. And that Aeon Gate does not pop things out very quickly at all. Maybe there's just not a lot on the ground. I don't know, but the rest of this army, that's a little bit awkward. We're seeing why the Aeon Gate feels really bad. It just does not disgorge armies very quickly at all. All right, so a couple fiends are going to find this army on the left side, and with no sides on top, it's a little dicey. But it looks like we're going to be fine with the speed camp here. You know, all going to be good. Kildra saying, Raffle, what a deathball fest. I challenge you to point me to a late game RTS, like a truly late game RTS, high tier 3, tier 4 tech, late game RTS composition where it doesn't tend to be a bit of a deathball thing. I mean, PvZ is like that. One could argue TvZ isn't, but you have your deathball a ghost, so same thing. Now mid game argument, sure, but like late game in general across Blizzard style RTS, maybe Warcraft isn't. I don't know how Warcraft works, but as of right now, you know, if I can think of like most late game states in Blizzard style RTS, it tends to be pretty, when like past 30 minutes, it does tend to be a little bit, by the way, Zara999, I totally missed it. Thank you there for gifting five subs to people. You're awesome. 6 really, because of September. Thank you so much. I love these random random shroud stones. Nina's not even bothered. Okay, she's actually gonna knock them down, but they get annihilated by all these sides. And now what I'm wondering as we take a look at this, I'm wondering how exactly, as a V5 rocket, it's just being annoying, but Nina can deal with this. What triggers this game ending? Is Nina's trying to play with the cloak on the edge of things with the 2 Aeon Gates left and right on the map. No one's mining anything, right? So it's really all about these trickle mining. The Therium camp, the resource camp, right? The Luminite camp. TheoRy is on 2 dragons. He's trickled enough Therium. And like, here's the thing as well. So dragons don't cost supply. I mean, they do, but they don't. And that you can get a dragon if you're maxed out. So the longer this game goes, TheoRy is going to be the one in the advantage. He's just going to have more stuff. He's going to have more dragons, these things that you can kind of get without supply anyways. And it just makes it very hard. So for now, this is a race zone, by the way, slowing things down, triggering all the shields. And Nina needs to find some way of catching this army out of position. What's a V5 rocket launcher? Stormgate is that what you kids are calling the sharpened pencil catapult? Yes, we are. Stormgate Archives. So I wonder if it makes sense that, so I like the camps respawning, but I'm looking at this late game, and the reason that this game has not ended is due in a large part because there are these creep camps that keep respawning and keep giving the players money. So their banks are low, but they're not really mining out, and no one's really interested in really taking a fight to where the point where they would go and really lose their army. They just rather kind of lose a little bit here or there and be okay with it. And that means that this trickle income is enough for now. Now Nina's gonna, so I don't know. For now though, dragons are gonna find, you do not want to lose these. We talked about not losing a little bit at a time being fine. Losing this much does not feel good. So Nina just trying to play with his Aeon Gate. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering whether it's like, once you get to tier 5 camps, should they just stop respawning? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, once they get to level 5, they just stop. Because as it stands right now, again, there's just enough money on the map from these camps that it's very hard to truly end the game. Although, TheoRy's bank is very small. If Nina can take another little bit of whittling, she's going to be pretty happy with herself. I don't know that I like this, though. Nina is giving TheoRy, I mean, TheoRy's not going to take it, but Nina is giving TheoRy an opportunity. Diving into this position where there really is no easy egress. But Nina knows it, TheoRy knows it, so TheoRy just going to take the middle instead. He has, well, more things. At that point, the cell top bar responds so it can be killed. No, I think just in general, it's like you've committed enough damage. You've done enough damage to the biosphere that nothing comes back. You've done enough damage to it, nothing comes back. But now, yeah, again, this is why run bys aren't very good. Blast nodes are just way too good. Yeah. So blast nodes just evaporate small number of units. As long as you can keep using evolutionary catalyst, it doesn't matter how strong camps get. True, absolutely true. But again, I think we can just get to this point where you just stop. The game says, yeah, you can't evolutionary catalyst anymore, but that is kind of a nerf to Celestial late game as well. Kind of is a nerf to Celestial late game as well, right? Because that means they have one less top bar ability once tier 5 camps are taken for the first time. Yeah, guys, you know, by the time this game is over, you'll be able to watch Up a Tree Stormgate video in slow motion twice. Nina, I mean, man, I'm put to mind right now. Now, this is a great opportunity. If Nina knew this army was here, she scans the middle, takes the V5, fine, but she doesn't know this army's here. This army of TheoRy is so split. If she can jump on top of this. She can jump on top of this army. That is half of TheoRy's army gone, and that would win her the game. That would absolutely win her the game, but she has to identify it. She has to know, and she doesn't know right now. takes the middle camp, but doesn't actually go and take the thing. So V5 rocket launcher, getting a little spicy. Doesn't matter. Doesn't truly matter at all. But TheoRy's bank is there again. How many dragons are we at? We are at 2. Give us a little longer and we will be at 3. This is going to be the next Mana versus Fire Cake. 40 more energy for a dragon. I think it might be more cooldown right now. Rusty Shacky, you redeemed read a poem, but you need to provide a poem for me to read. I'm not just gonna dance. You gotta tell me what you want. Bea, while we wait for the end of this game, please explain to us what space is. Space is the absence of things. Or the final frontier, you know, depending on how you want to approach things. As this is a dead animancer. Run! Death. God, this army is so big. This army is so freaking big. Cast it like slam poetry. I don't know that I can do that off the top of my head. If I remember right, in 3 hours you have to buy us pizza. Oh, I don't know. Getting past my bedtime already. I didn't think this was going to go until 2 in the morning my time, but oh my, this is going. I mean, well, luckily Infernal versus Vanguard, once we get there, is not, that has kind of clear end states. It doesn't go to this ultra late game unclear ending. By the way, look at this creation chamber, Aeon Gate into the, actually taking this down, taking the Elder Shrine down again would be super clutch. I wish we could know what's inside the Aeon Gate, but I'm looking on the map and my assumption is nothing. My assumption is that we don't really have anything on that. My assumption is that everything is in these Aeon Gates, which means that, hey, there we go. Into the, oh no, these advancers. Okay, they're gonna be okay. They will be fine. But here's the thing, you go in, Weaver's just teleported back home, and now you're just gonna have to get in that Aeon Gate, run away. Okay, it's got full Argents, that's fine. A couple Argents, they're Therium only, or they're Luminite only. Doesn't really matter. Losing the Aeon Gate is not great. Will balance changes apply to the match if it's still going? Oh, good questions there. These are very important questions. Well, the problem is, I think you say, Wraith, you're saying you think Nina's trying to win by killing every structure and never actually taking a fight. Effigies are structures technically. I believe effigies count for winning by elimination. And what I do know is camp towers, creep camp towers count by winning by elimination. So it's not that simple. At the end, theory is going to be like 500 supply. What are we at? So we are at, I think Theory got his 3rd dragon. I see 2 here, but he's on 93 Animus. That sounds like there would be a 3rd dragon out. But I get, nah, he didn't spend the Therium. I guess he spent the Animus on other things. Does anyone really need more than 2 dragons? Do you really need a 3rd dragon at this point? I don't think so. Can we ask the players for a breakdance halftime show? I mean, we could. Oh god, this is so loud. I'm sorry. The structure's dying. Ah, it's so loud. Let's fix this a little bit more. Drop these game sounds down. The game has gotten louder as the game has gone on. I don't know. I cast. Oh, what was it? It was Nina versus. I love this late game mass arc ship though. They don't cost supply anymore, so it's a really nice way to just have a little bit more power. Okay, we do have an arc fortress. Nina could kill this base. Oh, that's a single dragon. 3rd dragon. All right, 3rd dragon on the map. One less dragon on the map. There we go. That's dead. Chasing down the 2nd one. This is scary, but I think Nina's just gonna get all 3. Yep, 3 dragons. Minus 2100. Minus 2100. Minus 450. And Nina just says, this is fine. I'm okay. Look at the supply drop from this, by the way. I mean, it's super loud. I am so sorry. But Nina, hey, that's a massive win for her in the book. Now, fighting the ground army is still very hard, but the fact that 4 fiends aren't being spawned at a time is a big deal. It's such a big deal. It means that this army is suddenly, it's reasonable. It's manageable to fight a little bit. And now, well, let me turn this, let me turn this down even more. His Elder Shrine's dead. His Elder Shrine is in the dirt, and there's really not a whole lot that, I mean, Theory can't really remake. Technically, he has the money for it, but he doesn't really have the tech easily. And Nina has to be careful. She's getting locked into this position. The sides have to find a way away. And apparently what we're learning right now is that eventually in this game, as the game goes later, the sounds get louder. I did not change any sound settings. I'm so sorry. Hopefully this is more palatable. Because this was not this loud at the start of the game. I promise you this was not this loud at the start of the game. But what do we got here? Fiends on a bit of a counterattack in the middle of the map. That didn't work. Dark Prophecy against Fiends. They blows them up. Theory's in a really rough spot now. He doesn't have a good answer to the scythes. Not really. Ideally, they go back to all these arc ships and they go from there. But Nina has the stag defense. I think this is checkmate. Barely changed at all, but now it's almost silent. Okay, so it was getting very loud for me. Getting extremely loud for me. That's weird. Well, I've tuned it up a little bit. Hopefully that makes it a little bit better. This is a little scary though, because strike nodes are good. I don't know that there are many blast nodes, but Hellborn are handling that. But Nina's army, where is Nina's army? Not in this Aeon Gate. Leaving this Aeon Gate would be a disaster. Okay, popping into this Aeon Gate back home. I guess a lot of it is in the Aeon Gates because Nina's supply is still very good. You know, still up about 100 supply. And TheoRy, wait, does he not have production? TheoRy has 1, 2, 3 iron vaults. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, why is he not building more stuff? He is so massively supply blocked. Oh, this game's over. Actually, wait a minute here. We need to talk about something. There's not a single imp on the map anymore. There is not a single imp. Nina has bled them off over time. TheoRy has converted them into exploding imps over time. There's not a single imp on the map anymore. And because TheoRy's supply blocked, he can't build anymore. You're queued up right now. There is no way for him to escape this. And if TheoRy's at 94 supply, he does not win this game. Straight up, that doesn't happen. So Nina has checkmated TheoRy at this point. His army is only about as big as it will ever get. And if she continues to just kind of whittle away at it, that's a really nice deal. So at this point, I don't know exactly how TheoRy is supposed to win this. Like, his bank is really good, but he can't build anything, and he's never going to be able to build anything. We're at the point right now where realistically Nina could fly her size around the map and kill every structure and win the game like that. And I mean, TheoRy is not wrong for not tapping out of this game, by the way. TheoRy is not wrong for not leaving this game, because this army that we see right here, yes, it's down about 120 supply. Again, remember, there are a lot of collection arrays on the map that aren't doing anything. There are a lot of prisms on the map that are not doing anything. This army from Nina, supply for supply, is roughly the same size as what TheoRy has. And fighting this army is really hard. There are enough weavers right now. There are 5 weavers. That getting, maybe even more, just, okay, 5 weavers, but getting value out of your animancers is not easy. Oh, there we go. V5 rocket launcher gets a shot. So, point being here is that this, for Nina taking it straight, oh, I love this. Unseen Veil looking for a position, and we saw her. This got her an advantage in the early game. Now, I gotta say, I'm a little surprised too, but anyway, now we're gonna see, there we go. Now, this is the fight kicking off here. Dark Prophecy on everything, just not enough lashes available. And the damage here is kicking off. Nina can go back up and do this again if she wants to, but she knows that so much of these gaunts are falling down. And again, once the gaunts go down, there is literally nothing left. Purify goes down and everything, which means the burning doesn't really matter. The Nightfall infestation, actually not even Nightfall, the infest doesn't really matter, and the scythes dominate everything. What a hell of a final game between Nina and TheoRy in this first best of 5, and there is no solution anymore at this point. TheoRy drops down finally below the supply block number, but he can't do anything with it. These weavers are going to teleport away. The ground army will fall, but the air army is absolutely there. And I don't think there are any conclaves anymore. I don't know that there are any. Yeah, he built some imps. TheoRy's trying to win this game. He has a big bank, but Nina can just win. Nina can just win this game. Nina can just win this game, and there really is no solution anymore. Yeah, the stag defense is kind of annoying, but Nina's gonna remax on. Well, I mean, she doesn't have a lot of money. Really doesn't have a lot of money. TheoRy says, I didn't hear no bell. Taking us to the full hour mark. But again, no production, no shrines, nothing else. This greater shrine is dead. No top bar. There is no solution. There really is no solution. 34 supply at this point. TheoRy's gonna try because this bank is big, but there's nothing doing here. It's funny, I was talking to Apoptosis before this because he's running the Goblin Cluckfest after this, and I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, he included me in the tweet. He's like, hey, after you watch BeoMulf's thing, go and watch the Goblin Cluckfest. And I was giving him a hard time for just farming raids. Farming a raid, and he's like, no, don't worry, you're not going to be done. You're going to be done before this. And I'm like, well, no, actually. Well, then. This was off of one. I mean, he's supply blocked again. But that's a lot of Hellspawn Resurgence off of one shrine. Now there are no shrines and no way to build anything anymore. But that's a lot of gaunts off of one conclave. It doesn't matter, right? It truly does not matter here at this point. Everything's gonna get taken down. There's healing, there's everything else. This army is so dead. But it's kind of fun seeing how these late games happen. 1 hour mark, Theory just outlasting. There we go. 1 hour, longest Stormgate game I've ever seen. Epic late game. And that means that Nina wins this first series 3-1. You really just wanted the 1 hour game. That's what I'm hearing. All right, this is Nina, Theory, CVI, and before. All right, I think I will. Most people will agree with me here. Is that I need to go to a bit of a break. I think y'all need to go to a bit of a break. We will go, and we'll be back with our second series of the evening. It's the same players, different matchup. It's gonna be Infernals versus Vanguard, coming up right after a very well-deserved break. Pressure on the map. You make life very hard for the Celestial player early on. Now, of course, Sovereign's Watch is going to knock down a lot of these fiends, but there's no link node. There's no strike node. There's no true static defense at the moment. And by slowing this down, by putting us onto, what are we on? Putting us onto Reddit, yeah, on the bonus benefits that Nina gets here. Slow down quite a bit. So she's gotten vectors here in this first game, and that will get infested just a little bit. But as power becomes more available, well, the Hexen should just die, targeting that down. Actually not going to find what it wants until reset all that damage. But for now, onto the low ground where they're going to find yet more brutes because this is the upgrade. But back onto the high ground, the Dosido doing everything they want to find. Now, you still got to be very careful, but the skull's not going to do all that much. And this is kind of hard for Theory to go really chase down. That we see Wraith Cube talking about in chat. 5 to 7 sabers. A ton of vectors. And let's see what can get found out here. So for now, there's the abduct, and every time something gets abducted, right, things die. It's a long stun. Gotta be careful. So the vector's actually been pulled back, which allows this big infernal army moving on forward. These weavers walking like some slow Cthulhian horror moving forward. And yeah, Blastos are really good, but as long as they just get soaked on the fiends, it's okay. It's fine. So now, okay, bunch of vectors here. Gotta be careful, staying out of range. Flash damage done. And if you can knock down all the gaunts, there's not gonna be that fiend generation. And now Size on the field. Yes, they don't do bonus damage to heavy. They don't. But none of the rest of this army shoots up. So the Sabers, they're just gonna continue to get their shots, run away. And if you can reset before. And these sides are doing a really good job. You know, the imps are going down. The shrine died, but you gotta go, and there we go. Nice job. There we go. That's what you want to see from Nina. Ghost triggers the shield. Nice job. There we go. That's what you want to see from Nina. Ghost triggers the shields early, splits them up. So again, there's not going to be this damage, not going to be this attack. Well, now the Shadow Flyers are going to come in with a second wave, and that shield is done. Yeah, and hey, V5 rocket launcher goes the way of Theory as well. So a couple scythes are on the. If the Sabers can kill the Gaunts, the Vectors of Scythe is clean up. Otherwise, the Celestial stuff dies first most of the time. Well, I mean, it is 2 best of 5s, Carnival. I think that's effectively a best of 10. But now the Shadow Flyers on the map just finding... Well, there we go. They nerfed that. Doesn't matter. Difficult, but now this base will go down once again. Theory denied the bottom side base for the time being. Now, of course, you got to split away. That's a lot of Shadow Flyers. And Nina's only go sacrifices a couple forward. But anyways, the sides have to run away. There's just no other option. So they're going to be able to run. Shadow Flyer connections are doing 32 damage a shot. Like, they just dive on top of everything and things just die. The Gaunt number is surprisingly ineffective. So Split's going to go down. Shadow Flyers looking for what they can find. And this dragon is just going to evaporate here. Plus 20 damage. Ghost tries to heal itself up and will be fine at the... I always look at them and it feels like they're slowed down by something. And that means... Welcome back, friends. My hair is getting progressively crazier for the evening as we survived a 1 hour long CVV on Furious Titan. Furious Resolve. There we go. Absolutely not called Fighting Spirit. I have been given some ice cream. so I'm not complaining. So we gotta wind our way deeper into the evening. I'm just waiting. I am just waiting for the first map. We survived. Speak for yourself. That's fair, you know. You could be bereft. You could be decrepit. You could be in the ground. That's a good map. VVI, none of them. All right, I'm just gonna host a map then, guys. We will do. Broken Crown was vetoed. Veto was Broken Crown. So we're gonna go Secluded Grove map 1. Is that a Sonic Ice Cream something? I don't know. Claire went out and got it and decided she did not want all of it, so I get half. You're hard pressed to find me complaining too hard. Cookie dough. By the way, as we sit here, I would like to go and thank you all that has donated. So Gauntlet Wizard and Avarista and Meow Indeed and Andrew Chung and Psionic and Staged Games. There we go. And Rusty Shacky adding into this prize pool. But because, by the way, we're not at 210. We are at $270 right now because of everything that has happened. Because of course there is a main sponsor for this. We just need to wait, of course, for Nina to get ready. We need to wait for Nina to get ready and then go from there. TH Live, that makes me uncomfy. I don't like that. Please don't do that. By the way, Skix in the pilot, I don't know when these messages went through. Hello, everyone on YouTube. I am sorry that I'm not responding to YouTube. Can I pop this out? I can. My chat client that I use that gives me YouTube chat lost all of its access. So I've only been able to see Twitch in the middle of the game. That's not all that great. Hello there, Chicken Man. Ideally, we're gonna give y'all a nice big raid once we're done. There you go. Send y'all on over to the chicken thing. Hey, Pig! Hello! Hi. Hello, everyone coming in from Pig's channel. This is a Stormgate show match, series of show matches coming in. A series of Stormgate show matches organized by a guy by the name of Iron Steel, who just likes Stormgate, wants things to be happening. So what we're doing is we have two players. We have TheoRy, for those of you that are not aware, former StarCraft 2 pro, one of the best Infernal players in the business. And he is playing Nina. Nina plays Vanguard and she plays Celestial. So we just finished a great best of 5. It went 3-1 in Nina's favor. Celestials did beat Infernals there. Rumors of Celestials not able to win the matchup may have been overdrawn just a little bit, just a tiny bit. But now we're gonna get into our second best of 5, and this time, instead of it being a recording is going, we're good to go. Instead of this being Infernal versus Celestial, it's Infernal versus Vanguard. As we take a look at things, Pig, I'm having a great day. It's a beautiful Friday. I hope you're having a great day. Hope you had a great stream. And now we're gonna get into game 1. So in the upper right here, in this second best of 5 of the day of our Stormgate double down, again, he's in the blue for Aftermath. It's TheoRy. Down to the bottom right in the red, this time playing Vanguard and not Celestials, giving us a different look at things, a different look at certain matchups. Her name, you see it on screen, is Anna, but you may better know her. She's Nina. And that she is. So we get a very different look. On the balance of things right now, balance at the high level is very much kind of a circle, where Celestials are better than Vanguard, are better than Infernals, are better than Celestials. But Nina taking down TheoRy 3-1 does mean, in this case, yeah, you know, she made it happen. That was a very cool late game. You know, certainly we got to this awkward point about 40 minutes in to this late game on Furious Resolve, where we started to realize that okay, the map is mined out, but the camps keep respawning, and these resource camps keep kind of trickling money in time over time over time. And it became very hard to end the game because both players knew that they could keep getting money. They were never totally tapped out of money, and that was a little bit awkward. Hopefully they'll change that in the next patch. But the game was very cool. It was kind of interesting to see these super late game plays. And Infernal, TheoRy actually removed every single imp that he had. He had no imps on the map. It actually got him supply blocked later on because he couldn't build any meat farms. But he used all of his imps as part of his army, then replaced them with more army. So he was literally a 300 army supply Infernal player. Pretty cool. Which game wins the $270? Or some asks. Yes. So the way I'm assuming this works, and we're going to have Iron Steel to really give us the confirmation. The way I believe this works is it's $135 for the first best of 5. It's $135 for the second best of 5, give or take. And then I don't know how the money is going to be split up there, whether it's going to be like 70-30, 60-40. I don't know. But the money, I assume the money is going to be split for each best of 5. Yeah, guys, Nina's so far behind. Twitch chat, bunch of memers saying Nina's so far behind in this game. Look at the supply. Well, okay. Nina, though, trying to be cute with the scout, unfortunately not able to go and get the last hit. You can pretty consistently get last hits with scouts versus brutes on like health camps, on speed camps, and getting it on the vision camp is a little bit harder. Getting on the shadow demon just a little bit harder. Todd did not. Okay, chat is saying that look at the supply Todd taught us. Don't blame us. No, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. The look at the supply thing is in the late game when there are other indicators saying that we're 5 minutes in, we're like 3 minutes in, and look at the supply. No, you don't get to blame Todd for that one. That is your own understanding of the game there, Sergeant Duck. Nothing else. You do not get to blame the Frenchman for that. But also, when we take a look at this game, one of the big changes that we saw in this matchup, well, for Vanguard in general, is that their units build faster, or their Bob specifically. They build 3 seconds faster, now 17 seconds per Bob instead of 20. And that means that it is very hard to build an eco lead as a Vanguard player, or as an Infernal player, excuse me. So Nina, taking advantage of this, overcharges onto the third base. She's going to have a rip-roaring economy. Very, very soon. So notice right now, again, not a lot of production. She's got this buzzsaw cannon, nothing researching on the biolab. Yeah, I was going to say maybe kinetic redirect, but no, that's not going to be done. So third base just on the way, single barracks, getting these sentry posts set up. And by the way, I learned something the other day that I thought was pretty cool. So if you look at Bob's, it doesn't show. Okay. You can't mouse over veterancy, unfortunately, but a level 3 veteran Bob, which is only 1 top bar promote, by the way, as we're almost on the central command tier 2. 1 top means that if you're building a sentry post, instead of taking 45 seconds or 43 seconds, whatever it is, it takes 30. It takes a third of the time if you upgrade your Bob to tier 3. So I think there's some very interesting kind of tier 2 ideas that involve promoting a couple Bobs just to really build up your infrastructure fairly quickly in a way that, we've been using overcharge or multi-build for right now. I don't know. It hasn't been explored, but it's, yeah. Oh, Delirious X is the source of this knowledge. Hello there, Delirious X. Thank you for that knowledge. That's kind of cool. So, anyways, we're talking about this setup, right? Nina, third base, getting set up very quickly, moving into, actually not even going into Lancers. Lancers were the order of the day for like the first couple days. I haven't had a chance to play in a couple days, so maybe things have changed. But going quick Lancers with the fact that you can go and you can get kinetic redirect at tier 1. You can get them very quickly, and with the Lancers change with a bonus damage to light and everything, they were being used quite consistently. But it seems like Nina in this game says, okay, yeah, sure, I'm just going to get a bunch of Exos. That's fine. I'm going to get quick draw hustle very quickly. Go into Lancers eventually later on, I'm assuming. Gonna go. I was given a thing of ice cream, and I need to make sure I eat it before it melts. Sorry about that. But anyway, so Nina is playing very greedy in this game, right? Very well. I think this is just how you're supposed to play. But of course, it does slow down her army production a little bit, which means TheoRy has had the opportunity to creep his entire side of the map. But what I want to know is where he's going for tier 2. So there's a Twilight Spire on the way. There's a single one. Of course, we are getting Plague Axes on the way. Sure, fine. Sulfur Descendants on the way, so a little bit more armor. Kind of tier 1 upgrades. Really tier 1 upgrades, even though tier 2 is done. As there's the third base here. But again, I don't know exactly. This is a learning situation for me because this is a matchup I'm very much struggling in, and I don't know what the answer really is against these big bio balls. Certainly once mid-techs pop out. So Nina just taking advantage of this tree line, which means the brutes can't really get in there. The Gaunts can, sure, but they don't want to get close. And just chipping away. And chipping away. And chipping away. And then, you know, behind this again, the kinetic redirect is on the way. No central command or no high command just yet. You don't get into that thing for a little bit, but I just want to know. It's okay. So it's a single Twilight Spire. Is this just going to be for Magmadon drops? Is that what this is? That might make sense. I do believe, and we don't have a Shadow Cleft yet, so we're not there, but I do believe the stun, it's a 2-second stun, Seismic Slam. I do believe it makes sense to go and get that and have one or maybe a couple Harbingers sharking around the map. If you can stun all the Exos and add the theory crafted thing, which it's just really hard. It's really hard to pull off. It's a half a second time differential, and it's just not a lot of time. I think the theory crafted idea was okay. Well, flaming imps in these Harbingers, but even just putting Magmadons in, right, and having them trample on top or something, or stunning the Exos for 2 seconds means that you can kill off a lot of them. Orson asks, when will these games be live? The cut-up games. So just the individual series will be live on my YouTube on Monday and Tuesday. But the YouTube live feed will just be available on YouTube. The live VOD, the raw VOD, pretty much as this stream is over. So if you miss out on something, you can go back and take a look. Meanwhile, this being run by is being annoying, but mass repair, certainly level tier 3 Bob, as we can see here, plus 30%, plus 30% healing overall. And Nina's now got her 4th base, so it's interesting taking a look at this. Nina just playing this bio ball, but not playing it super aggressively. Instead, getting herself to this position where she feels very, very strong. And okay, so we got Weavers on the way, or Weavers on the map, I guess. And you know, with this Harbinger, you can spread Shroud. I do think. And we are an Elder Shrine as well, so getting up to tier 3, ideally, again, you do want that, you do want the Shadow Cleft, right? You do want the upgrade that means your Shroud goes much further. I think I'm out. Honestly, I think it's worth getting Seismic Slam just for the fact that you spread like double Shroud on the Harbinger as well. It's a lot of Shroud on the map. So I haven't played Weaver versus Bio. I played Weaver versus like Lancer Mech, which was Order of the Day the first couple days of the patch. But I haven't played this. So people saying they don't know what to do once the Weavers come out. I'm kind of curious. It's interesting as we take a look at this. The idea, the belief the first couple days was that okay, Infernals are better than Celestials, are better than Vanguard, are better than Infernals. And it's pretty strongly like 60-40. Maybe 65-35 in that way. But I've also heard people talking about like once Weavers are on the field in this matchup, it also feels just kind of hard. So I don't know. I mean, I'm curious to see how this thing works out for now. Hellborn, of course, are in tier 3. They do have that Molten Touch, which means they just do a little bit more drip damage over time. Now, again, you got some med text. You're going to be okay. And I think the answer is people saying, well, I don't know what happens once Weavers are out. I don't know what to do. I think the answer is probably Sentinels and just shut them down. Or, in this case, Nina saying, well, okay. Your army is on the ground. I have helicarriers in the sky. What you gonna do about that one? Oh, this is an opportunity right now. All this army stuck in a choke here. If Nina knew about it, the helicarrier bombing run would be so good. But as it stands, there we go. There's the bomb and run on top of everything. Doesn't actually land all that well. I thought it would be a little bit better, but even still, I guess actually one of the bombers died before it could really drop its payload. So there is that, as we see.
Darkness.
Well,
Closes in.
minus armor as well. And yeah, Nina is just struggling to engage this fight. But yeah, you need more helicarriers, need more bombers. And we're slowly getting there. I don't know what the bomber number is. Nina is about to be 3 on this one. Has, well, just slowly building them up right now. One helicarrier doesn't really do all that much. But yeah, if you can get 3 or 4 of them. Ooh, that becomes very tasty. And again, Nina's economy is very good. She's on 3 bases. Would like to get the 4th base, but bombing run goes down once again. And oh, this one's a lot better. This one's a lot better. Oh, it hurts. Yeah, you do have to worry about the Molten Touch, Nightfall Infestation as well, and no System Shock, I don't think, which would be really good. System Shock here just allow you to go and just purge off all the infest pretty quickly. Seems pretty nice. Purge off the Molten Touch seems pretty nice. But now we just need to wait for these bombers to get ready once again, for them to be able to drop that bombing run once again, because that's kind of a scary thing. I love, by the way, this med station. 4 HP per second. It's like a buffed. It's actually just the same as Elf Tower, but a little bit further forward. So Nina, again, force back. The bombing runs were good, but at this point, we're on a... I mean, TheoRy has the middle. This is also very true. Plus 8 HP out of combat. I was looking at it more from the perspective of being in combat. Right, having this kind of as a backline healer while you're in combat. Other benefit, and again, the healing camp does this too, but a med tech doesn't by itself, is this heals mechanical and biological units. That can be pretty nice, but TheoRy is just taking the map at this point. He got the north side base. In fact, he's going to double shrine it because Therium, Luminite. He's got the middle of the map, but he's not mining from it super efficiently. He's doing this very conservatively to go for there. And thank you there for, thanks 357 for the fun facts for chat. I do appreciate it. So the next thing I'm kind of curious about here is, again, we are on Elder Shrine. Ooh, very big Spriggan transition. That's kind of cool. The other thing I'm really curious about as we get ourselves in this late game transition is whether the dragon gets built. Because the dragon is very good, absolutely. Being able to spawn more fiends is always going to be really nice. Mass supply infest is really solid. But you got to be careful, because the dragon is still a heavy unit, and exos, they can target in the wrong fight. The exos just target the dragon down. It goes away in the blink of an eye. Oh, that's a good question. I don't think so. MSRM asks, does the med station, does it heal more when boosted from a solar habitat? I don't know. I wouldn't assume so. I don't think the solar habitat only increases production speed, to the best of my memory. So I don't think so. Oh, okay, it does. Tooltip says it does. I can't look at the tooltip right now. Apparently yes. That's kind of cool. So 25% of 8 is 10 HP per second out of combat, 5 in combat. So now we're at that magical 4 helicarrier mark we were talking about. TheoRy maxed out here, and I believe, yeah, he's got the dragon. He's 3 or 4 out of 300 tells us, okay, the dragon's here. And Harbinger's scouting forward, but no seismic slam. No seismic slam. Just apply Shroud so Infest can get applied for just a second. I feel like we want to add some... Oh, big bombing run, big bombing roll. God. Oh, man. That, I looked at that, and I thought that was going to be really good. And then I look at the supply, and it's just the same. Yeah, these players are like, yeah, we just played a 1-hour game. We played a 2.5-hour series. Let's play a super long turtle out game in game number... It's funny, I think even in that last game I said, hey guys, don't worry about it. I think eventually, even if this game is going long, I'm not going to be up super late, because Infernal versus Vanguard doesn't tend to go this long. No. These players are putting the line on my truth. This fiend run by is just... There we go. There's the bubble, but there's also going to be Shroudfall. So it's pick your poison here. Which base do you lose? Is it your 3rd base? Is it your 4th base? Now, there's a lot of static defense here. And this Rampart is buying a lot of time. I mean, these structures are just not taking damage in the way that TheoRy would like to find. So run by gets handled. It's going to get repaired. Rampart keeps this thing alive for now. Now on the bottoms, on the other side, the base is still here. And now here comes Nina's army trying to get on top of things. Can she make this work? Big bombing run into the corner. Doesn't really get a ton, though. And now there's the re-engage coming on out. Second bombing run. This one baited them all in. It's so big. It's so big. But now can you deal with the backside? Now can you deal with the rest of it? Everything is so freaking low. And Nina annihilates this army. Let the supply not fool you. A lot of that was in production. A lot of that has been remade. That bombing run was so much damage. And if you can get on top of the rest of this army, if you can get on top of this high-tech army, it's going to be so useful. More bombing runs go down. More explosions hit the deck here. This front line of Lancers trying desperately to punch through, and I think it's going to be able to do so. That is such a turning point. Yes, the supply is 300 to 300. Yes, the supply is instantly remaxed. And yes, Nina has to be careful. But if you take trades like that, it is so very hard. But now the Spriggan mass composition here is going to try to get on top of these helicarriers. Technically, they answer it. Technically, they're good. And with no Hornets on the field, everything is so slow. This tech transition that TheoRy's been able to find. Yeah, he lost one fight. Yeah, he lost a second one. But there is so much army right now. Even with this survival protocol that's keeping Zexos alive, it doesn't matter. Nina is getting washed off the face of the map, and it took 2 remaxes. Nina can't even click on her units. There's just so many fiends here. And that is going to do it. Game 1. Man. GG. Game 1 goes the way of TheoRy. Yeah, needed Hornets at the end, I think. Needed a sky mine. Yeah, Hornets would have been really good there, but you know, unfortunately, it's funny. Whenever I try, I swear that whenever I try Spriggans against helicarriers, it doesn't work. But TheoRy brought them in as like once half the army had died. Yeah, Javi, they're working on it. Hopefully we'll have more optimization. I mean, the October patch is going to be soon enough. All right, Nina says any map. I said loser pick. She says any map. So it cannot be Boneyard. Cannot be Broken Crown. Cannot be Secluded Grove. Let's go Titans, I think. Yeah, Titans wasn't banned. I'm hoping we have a balanced patch before the late October patch, because that'd be really nice. But the next big content patch is gonna be the late October, I think. Spooky. I just make him go play Spooky Boneyard. That would be fun. Yeah, so what I'm really wondering, if you take a look at this, it feels like, so mid game's still kind of cool, maybe a little slow. Mid game's kind of cool. But we have this kind of late game pause where it's like, I don't know, 15 minutes to 25, where it doesn't make sense. My girlfriend brought me this Sonic. No, I did not drive to Sonic during the 1 hour game. If you get to your opponent's main, should you be able to click their pets into exploding? Yes, I do, and I'm tired of pretending I don't. Anyways, game number 2 of the series, good to go. All right, so game number 2. Orson, by the way, saying that the October patch is October. Do we have a date for the October patch already? Did I just miss it? But anyways, double vault opening coming out of TheoRy once again. I'm surprised, and maybe it's just, it doesn't make sense. Maybe the creeps are still worth enough. But I know I've been messing around with these shrine openings. Shrine first openings, get it on like 11 supply or something, and I think it's got legs. But you know, we're not seeing Theory do it here. He'd rather be a little bit more active on the map, and this is certainly safer. They show it's already going. Our stream, I'm live. We are in the in-game scene. You should be seeing it. You should be seeing this game happening right now. Anyways, so going again, double brute. You don't kill these camps, the slimes, right? The light. Can I mouse over and show that it's light armor? No, I can't. But these slimes, right? They're light units, so gaunts do bonus damage to them. They clear them very quickly. But this double brute opening is just good all around for a couple of reasons. Again, you can kill the light camps fairly easily. You can take down these. Now the shadow demons are bugged, by the way. If I can, what unit is it doing damage to? You'll see it's doing 5 damage a hit. It should be doing 20 damage a hit, but it is just bugged. So this camp is a lot easier to take than it should be. At that point where you just kind of A move it and not worry about things too much. But going back to why this opening from Theory is kind of good. So you get double vault. You can go and you can take the majority of the creep camps that you want to take. Actually, Theory's going to leash it back, the speed camp to his side, so we can take this a little bit easier. So you pay for the second vault by taking all the camps. That is very much true. And then because you're not building any Therium units, you can go fully saturate your main base for quite a bit. You can go and really develop your economy and then not have to mine Therium for a reasonable amount of time. Now, not forever. It seems like Theory is going into his Therium pretty quickly, getting that vault down pretty quickly. But it allows you to optimize your Luminite income early and take your resource, your secondary resource, your Therium, your tech resource, just a little bit slower. So, for now, well, we have the slimes going down. We have Theory again because Nina's playing this so defensively. In fact, was this command post first? This might have been command post first. I'm sorry, I was paying attention to Theory's opener. I should have paid attention to Nina's too. But going the single rack expand or command post first or something like that, she's giving Theory the map. But on the flip side, she's fully saturated in her natural and maybe less so her main base. But that's just because she's mining some Therium. Her economy is better than Theory's already, and it will continue to grow. Now, again, on this first setup, on this first round of camps, Theory's going to get a lot of money. Theory is going to get a significant amount of money by taking these bruisers and the pipers this early on is not the easiest thing to do. They are taking this Therium camp early on is very, very hard, but eventually, you know, you're gonna take it down. That's pretty fine. Point being, Theory has the entire map right now. In fact, he's gonna take the center of the map too. He's got there we go. Send the meat farm over to take that one. So I don't know. I should sit down and do the math. It varies by map, but I really should sit down and do the math to be able to tell you. But as of right now, Theory, his economy did not grow as fast as Nina's did. Nina, right, got that many more bobs early on, but he did take the entire map. And while it's not as strong as it once was, I do think the economy here for Theory is technically just going to be a little bit better. He has that many more. He has just that much more. Now, granted, when you talk about Titan's Causeway, you stay on 2 bases for a long time. Taking your third base, this third base is so far away from the natural. The down low base, very hard to take. Getting more Therium, getting third and fourth Therium, very far on the map. It is, you can get onto 2 bases reasonably fast, but going beyond that, not easy. So for now, more X's on the map, quick draw hustle on the map, but I don't think we're going to see Nina turtling to 4 bases as much. I don't think we're going to see her. I don't think we're going to see her going for that as much. What is my notification? Just letting Apoptosis is live with a Goblin Cluckfest. Okay. But yeah, so I'm going to be interested to see exactly how Nina decides to get aggressive with this. For now, She's gonna go take the resource camp in the middle, take that run right back from the Fell Hogs. It's not allowed. You're not allowed to have that one. And I think we can see some quick draw hustle done in about 20 seconds. I think there can be some very scary Vanguard timings just off bio now before medtechs, and it seems like no, Nina's just gonna go and oh no, okay, 4 backs. What is it? What's the math? It's like 3. You can do like 3 racks per base. Some I forget. I'm not actually sure what the math is. Regardless, this army seems small compared to what TheoRy has, and in some ways it is, but it will kite for forever in a day. So Magmadon's out right now. Shroudstone does get manifested, but those are timings, right? This Shroudstone only is really powerful for 40 seconds. After that point, who cares? Doesn't matter. This Magmadon Exos are maybe not as strong as they once were. They were nerfed a little bit, but they're still very good against the Magmadons. For now, though, Nina just trying to reclaim these camps that she lost early on. The Fiend's doing a really nice job, by the way, of shutting down some level of reinforcements, killing these Exos as they try to rally across. And that's just an old RTS tactic, right? When your opponent... Oh, the opportunity here. So we're going to see the skull go down. Actually does trigger on one of these Lancers, but you got to be very careful because there's a big surround coming in from every side. Look at all the Fiends. Look at all the surrounds trying to target the Magmadons. They're going to get full contact here. They don't have stun. They do not have Demon of Tremors just yet. But oh, God, this is so good from TheoRy. Catches everything out. And the Nightfall Infestation means that there's no way that army can run down the ramp. So now TheoRy... He's up about 20 supply. A couple Exos escape, but these Exos on the backside, well, hey, guess what? There are Fiends there too, getting on top of these Exos, running away. And yeah, there's that effigy dropped as well, just making sure things just last a little bit longer. This was the perfect, and I mean the perfect setup for TheoRy here. And now more Fiends are going to, yeah, there you go. Nina is totally dead in this game number 2. Not even. TheoRy just springs the trap in a significant way. And we move to game 3. All the notifications. All right, so game number 3. Nina doesn't care. What map? Chat, what map do we make game 3 on? It cannot be Titans. Oh, it cannot be Titans. It cannot be Broken. It cannot be Secluded. Harsbro, thank you so much there for the tier 1 sub at 2 months. I'm glad you love all the Stormgate content. Cannot be Boneyard. Boneyard was banned. Furious Resolve. Okay. We're gonna do Furious Resolve. Or as Thanks 357 says, Furious Resolve. I think that's a... And Thanks 357 asking, what are my graphic settings? Yeah, Ultra, everything. Actually, I can... Here, 1 second, I can... Actually, I was gonna say I can show you my settings. I can't. I cannot show you my settings. But yeah, it's Ultra. I have DLSS turned on, so I do have some frame gen going. Sharpness is at like 50%, I think. But yeah, I got a 7800. I got super lucky. So I was, I have this, the specs down below. I still have that PC. But my girlfriend's been talking about, oh, let's do some really cool production stuff. Like the production stuff I do by myself, I think is pretty cool, but let's take it up a notch, right? Let's do some more. So I gave her my computer and I found a 4700 Super 7800X 3D machine that someone had got for something and they didn't really want it. So they were selling it for like $1,400. And so now we have 2 computers that can run Ultra Stormgate on Ultra. And I'm very excited for what we have in the future. It's going to be very, very cool. For now, though, game number 4 of this series, TheoRy, is up 2. Look at that. So here we are, game number 4, Furious Resolve. Nina down 2 games to 0, and, well, they got horizontal spawn, which means that we are not dealing with the tyranny of the speed camp, and who is closer? Praise Kevin Monk. God, I hate this so much. It is impossible. Once the scout is on top, unless you get some insane jukes, it is impossible to save this imp. It is impossible to build anything with it. You are just very, very sad. Yeah, Stormgate Sundays. Stormgate. I didn't have a chance to go and remake the stinger. There will be a Stormgate Sundays this Sunday, but I didn't have I had too many things going on this evening, so I didn't have a chance to go and put a different logo into the stinger. For now, though, we see really annoying things on both sides. We're gonna see what was attempted to be an expand first. Instead, it's gonna be a barracks because this Hexen is just obnoxious as hell. A meat farm had to get made, so it's a single vault expand. Second vault into the main base. Both players are not super happy about how this works out. Both players are not particularly happy about how this thing has turned out. Yeah, there are going to be some fiends on the other side, and they're going to try to take down this infested Bob, maybe get another fiend, but mass repair and overcharge is, as long as the overcharge is going to be done soon. But anyways, it seems like it's going to be fine trying to take this down, mass repair, and yeah, and the base is there too. So I mean, the scout's going to go down. Okay, this is really annoying. What? Lancer's not out yet. This harass from TheoRy. I don't think this ends the game. I don't think this ends the game, even though there is an effigy right here. There's not enough damage to really take one of these units down. But man, this is so annoying. By the way, I love the effigies apparently have death sounds. On ultra graphics, how about FPS at 300 farm? Above 60. I mean, we saw those late game 300 versus 300 fights. I can't turn on the FPS monitor. I have to use a third-party one if we're in observer mode. But, you know, if you want to go back and take a look at those late game fights, I felt it a little. It was a little framey. But not bad. Certainly not what other people are talking about and other people are complaining about. Not nearly as bad. So, for now, we're going to have a couple Lancers on the map. They're going to go and try to jack some of these creeps. I don't know that they got this one. Again, they do bonus damage to light +5. You really do feel it, but they're getting bracketed into a corner, and nobody puts baby in a corner, but apparently TheoRy does, but a couple more shots. Yeah, that's dead. That's going to be there we go. All right, so Lancers, I don't think they got any of the creeps, and they did, in fact, take a lot of damage. So now game gets a little awkward, right? So this base, this means that it's going to be very difficult. Both players are going to get a speed cap, certainly, but TheoRy is really going to struggle to get a health cap, which is super important for Vanguard in this game, or just in general. You want to be able to go and have that passive HP regen, right, for your Lancers. It's super important. And that means that, you know, over time, you take these long, drawn-out fights, and with time to kill a little bit slower in this game right now, with time to kill just being that much slower, that actually matters quite a bit. That can make a difference. So for now, TheoRy on the other side of the map, trying to mess with this creeping a little bit. I think Nina got them all. But now the speed camp is going to be TheoRy's. And every single time Nina has something that seems like it's going to go pretty good for her, it's just not enough. It's just not enough. Every single time, TheoRy he does that just a little bit more. So still just right. In fact, no Therium has been mined. TheoRy has some from taking some bases, but he's mined absolutely no Therium whatsoever. He's got, you know, enough for a couple gaunts, but I think he's trying to get aggressive here. Really not any teching up. It's interesting. So the Lancer's on the other side. Now, there is no greater shrine. There is no greater shrine on the map whatsoever, so there's not going to be any Nightfall infestation. Which means that TheoRy is in kind of an awkward spot right now as he takes the resource camp. And we'll lose this meat farm. It's a light. It takes bonus damage from light and bonus damage from structures from these Lancers, which is not really a good position to be in. But now TheoRy has to be line right home. And this is a lot of Lancers here. Now, they do not have a kinetic redirect. It's not done. It's on the way. So they're not going to be super fast. But that is still a lot of them. Brute's now getting popped out. Triple charge here. And that's going to force him back. In fact, that's going to force him into a big surround. But these are squirrely boys. They should, and I say should, but they should be able to find their way out, trying to target down some. There we go, more fiends. But at this point, you got to be very careful. Hexing out the front line as well is not exactly how you want to play this. But okay, Biokinetics Lab. It's research halfway done. Now Nina getting ready to go take her third base on the right side. And Theory, again, he plays this delayed upgrade style, or this delayed third base style. So now the Greater Shrine is done. Now he is actively mining from some Therium once again. He has both a Ritual Chamber and a Hellforge done. So he's getting all that tech, right? We got probably Soulforge and Plague Axes are the two really useful things. Making sure your Brutes and your excuse me, not your Hex and your Gaunts are that much more effective as the game goes on is pretty important. So there we go. Soulforge Ascendants, of course, bonus 10 armor. You get an additional Fiend when you Sunder. Ritual Chamber's not done just yet. In theory, actually doesn't have the Therium to research anything out of that. Not quite. But from this awkward early game, Nina, all of a sudden, she's in a reasonable spot. She's got these Exos. She's got these Lancers. Quick Draw Hustle is not done yet, so the Exos aren't super strong. But now that there's a Weaver on the field, and okay, so we do have the Ritual Chamber. It's not researching just yet. Theory does have the money for it. There we go. Okay, so Plague Axes are on the way, as the next question becomes, when does he take his third base? Does he take his third base? How does he choose to approach that idea? Because again, 2 bases, totally fine. But Nina's got her third base done. And she's building three Bobs at a time, 17 seconds at a time. I mean, her economy, you let it go away. You let it go like gangbusters, and this economy starts to go massive. And yeah, Theory had camps early, and that was absolutely worth talking about. But I am very curious to see exactly how this wants to go. So there's one Magmadon on the field. Certainly Quick Draw Hustle is done now. Gaunts pop out from the backside, trying to maybe snipe these Exos down, but they're not targeting the right things, which means that everything is going to get out. And with no Demon Hoof Tremors, there's no stun. Nothing that really makes these units good. In fact, I mean, Soulforge isn't done yet either. That's still another 30 seconds out. So there's this awkward situation where there's just damage being done to the production. Now, Shroud Stun Made Manifest is really good. And with these Lancers no longer taking 2 less damage per shot, they do take significant damage from the Shroud Stun Manifestation, which, I mean, I guess they did anyways, but it feels like they just take more now, even if it maybe it's just a placebo effect. I don't know. But again, there's no third base on the way. The Shroud is not really getting spread here. Theory won the previous game off a great big flank. And that's not the easiest thing to find right now. He's not really setting up a great big flank right now. He doesn't have Magmadons where they need to be. They certainly don't have Demon Hoof. Soulforge should be... It's not done yet. Soulforge is not done yet. So even these Brutes are not as tanky as they would like to be. It looks like their Soulforge should be... Did he cancel? Yeah, I guess Sundering Soul Friendly was canceled. He's like, no, I need Demon Hoof Tremors right now, I guess was the play. And now trying to get on top, but man, these units, they have so little armor from taking the Slime Camp that on top of everything, I mean, with the Exos, with the Lancers, this is just a disaster for Theory. He's going to drop the Shroud. Nightfall Infest hits a couple of these Lancers, but this is a single Weaver. This is not enough to break this army down. The Nightfall Infest is not enough to break this army down, and Nina just runs right over him. I was very questioning about this composition, this idea that he was going for, but none of it worked. Absolutely. And by the way, Nina's got a 4th base, so Theory's on 2 bases, never tried to expand. Nina's on 4. She has the much better tech. She has the much better composition. Do we have med techs on the way? No, we just building X's, right? That's fine. But Demon Hoof Tremors is done. Sundering Soul Frenzy, Soulforge Descendants is not enabled. And Nina's just going to find this army rallying across. She's going to kill the reinforcements. And, I mean, this Magmadon doesn't do anything. He's going to try to stun away, but it just gets 2-tapped. So, Theory is just getting consistently kind of caught on the map in really awkward spots. I think he's of the opinion that he just has to go counterattack now. Is my assumption on this, and trying to rely on the Shroudstone Manifest for something. But this army is just not very good. I don't like the way he's decided to play this game. The way he decided to play this game is just really awkward. And at the end of the day, there's no way he wins this base trade. This does not happen. He does not build enough stuff. He's supply blocked now. Well, now he is. And the single Magmadon does not win this game. A single Magmadon does not win this game. Not even close. So, Theory. I mean, the stuns are nice. Sure they are. But Theory at this point with, God, the Buzzsaw Cannon with the reinforced 200 increased armor is just not dying. Theory is very dead in this game. He's taking a second to acknowledge it, but this game is very, very over. And that means that we're going to go into game number 4 pretty quickly. We had the epic long macro game in game number 1. Theory caught Nina way off guard. All of her X's went down in game number 2. But Theory might lose on elimination here, is the wild thing. Because these are his only structures on the map. He does have this one vision camp, but he's just going to tap out. There we go. Game number 3 goes to Nina. And we have a series. All right. Game number 4. Oh, Roman Stankov, thank you so much for the follow. And TY Gaming and East Daddy and everyone else. Thank you so much for the follows, guys. Well, folks, we have map 4 on the way. If we're lucky, we go to map 5. But we're going to have to see exactly how this operates, how this goes. Goodbye, All Might. Sergeant Duck, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you. What is map number 4, Theory? Please give me the map pick. All right, so we are just... By the way, if you like what I do here... thanks, 357. Thanks for hanging out with me this evening. Lost Hope is going to be map number 4. If you like what I do here and you want more stuff, so Stormgate VODs, I go up on YouTube 5 days a week. I try to put them Monday through Friday. Don't always succeed, but it's a reasonable approximation. And then I stream when I can. You should go... Hey, follow me here on Twitch. Sub to the YouTube. And if you want to sub on Twitch, I'm not going to complain, especially during September. Absolutely during September. Get yourself a nice discount. If you decide to give some subs, some bonus subs get gifted too. It's great. Great way to go and make your dollar stretch a little bit further. But again, more importantly, if you like what I do, go follow my YouTube channel. Go sub to my YouTube channel. Go follow me on Twitch. And it does help out quite a bit. I had some really cool conversations the last couple days. I have some things that I am hoping, I am praying we get. All right, we're just waiting on Theory to join the lobby, and we're gonna be ready to move into game number 4. I had an hour-long call with someone. All I'm gonna say earlier today that might lead to some more developed content in the future. We'll see what happens. But for now, game number 4 is loading up. It is Lost Hope. We'll see what Theory and Nina have in store for us as we get into that pretty quickly. Real Speedy Bozar, thank you so much. I could have sworn you were already following. Did you do that thing where you unfollowed and refollowed? Cheeky lad. But here we are. It is game number 4 of this series. Finally, it is a series, not the 3-0 that it looked like it might be. And certainly how game 3 started. But in the bottom right, of course, it's Theory. Middle left, Nina is playing. So as we take a look at the setup, Nina has the speed camp advantage is really how we want to talk about that. It's a little bit closer to hers than it is Theory, but it's not the crazy horizontal or a vertical spawn. Y'all, marksman, yeah, it is getting late, but my pleasure. So glad you're here, and enjoy. See you in the YouTube comments. See you in the YouTube comments. But yeah, if you unfollow and refollow, there's a notification. Please do not abuse this knowledge. Please do not abuse this knowledge. That is the forbidden knowledge and not allowed. So for now, again, double vaults. Double vault. Well, actually, wait a minute, saying. This is pretty aggressive here, and okay, there's a reason for this. We talked about this, I want to say in the last series, but this is double vault conclave very quickly coming out of Theory in this game, because this is Lost Hope, and Lost Hope is a map that has so many creep camps that even though creep camps have been nerfed, if you can take over the map, you can do that. there's still a ton of money on the table. So we're going to see this. We're going to see the Conclave going up that much faster. That getting even just a couple gaunts means you clear this the light camps, you clear the speed camps, you clear the health camps so much faster. And it really does pay for itself. Meanwhile, Nina going for a command post. I believe this was a command post first. Maybe not. Maybe this was one rack expand, but going and playing it as defensive as possible. This is a full wall. She will have to sell the sentry post. Not the barracks probably, but she will have to sell the sentry post to get out of her main base. So very, very greedy, taking advantage of the map orientation, taking advantage of this pocket base that, you know, you're not always going to want to take. Inferno players, for example, definitely don't want to take that one early on because it means that their natural isn't really, this second Therium patch is not all that accessible. And specifically for Infernals, getting that second Therium patch is the game. It is so very important. So then what that means is that Nina's fine with this again, right? Like, you're building Exo Lancer. That's not a lot of Therium cost. But you can support that off of one Therium patch totally fine. So Nina's trying to have her cake and eat it too. Trying to go and play as safe as she needs to. This buzzsaw turret with 3 bobs behind it are just unpushable. Absolutely unpushable. Now, I don't think she needs to have these bobs here because this is not a big attack coming out of TheoRy right now. This is just TheoRy creeping around the map. Now, as I say that, what is he doing with this imp? Is he just backdooring it? Is this the meta? Is this, again, I haven't had a chance to play this week. This may be the meta and I'm just not aware of it at all. It makes sense, right, to go for this kind of quick expand idea. So running the imp onto the other side. And by the way, Nina has no idea this. She knows that this is being creeped, but she has no idea that this imp is cutting straight through. And if that is the case, double speed camp taken, by the way. So this is something that TheoRy has. His army is fast. Well, he can just dive in, and there's like 2 Lancers on the map. This could just kill Nina. Now, will it? I don't know, because Lancers are still very strong, and TheoRy ran backwards with his entire army to deal with this scout, which is just not the play. But now here comes the army. Running onto the other side. Sentry post is going to go down, and this was overcharged, popped immediately. Now, you do need an army. And here's TheoRy's job. Prevent the Lancer from getting into this. Okay, so yes, there's a sentry post here now, and this should be okay. The natural should be secured for the most part. Breaking this with overcharge, not going to happen. But hey, there's another spot. You run into the main base. This sentry post is going to be a little bit more breakable, and that imp ran by. There's a random Shroud Stone right here, and look at this. SimCity taking it down. Maybe, just maybe get one more shot. Buzzsaw Cannon gets ready, and now the Fiends are going to fall down, and that means this position is not really there anymore. Pressing this, you cannot break it down. So many repairs. Now, the Shroud Stone is going to be this next timing, because TheoRy has a greater shrine. Yes, he does. Which means there's going to be a Shroud Stone manifest pushing down this Buzzsaw Cannon. I think that's the play. So he doesn't have to commit to this right now. Rat continues to rally through, totally fine. Overcharge is going to be ready soon. But now, if he can lure things out, if he can take this fight, there we go. Shroud Stone manifest tries to crash this thing down. Overcharge is there. How's the repair? Seems like it's fine. Seems like it's absolutely fine. And this is not going to work. I don't think that this really works out all that well. The SimCity is just way too good. So if you're TheoRy at this point, retarget, kill the habitat, supply block Nina here, get on top of her production. Don't stop wasting DPS. There we go. Okay, so he's targeting down some bobs. That's something. And eventually this Shroud Stone manifestation, yeah, it's not overcharged anymore. So 1 barracks will fall. And this, okay, so I kind of like taking this Buzzsaw down. It's a little weird. I kind of like taking this Buzzsaw turret down, so long as you don't lose too much, because if you do, suddenly the rally, instead of going north and around, it can just go straight through the natural. So this actually is pretty nice for TheoRy right now. Taking this down. Now, again, you don't want to lose the Gaunts. You do not want to lose the Hexen. But also, this is a 200 HP Therium, or a 200 HP effigy, because of this Shroud Stone, because of this effigy. And I'm honestly, if you can go and build a Wraith Stone, that would be super cool. Just slow everything down, fight in that area. But the problem is, Nina, her production is lacking. She's building a barracks on the bottom side, but I think eventually this position just gets forfeit, right? I mean, yeah, there's a Buzzsaw turret. There is. But I feel like eventually this position just becomes forfeit. I could be wrong. And TheoRy is on one base. He's not mining a ton. Nina has been mining on 2 bases for quite a while in this SimCity. I mean, good luck breaking this SimCity. It's just not going to happen. But now they're okay. I love it. Teleport Weavers onto the Shroud Stone. There is so much utility with doing this. There's so much utility doing this. I love this. So TheoRy, he's pretty quickly give him another 25-30 Therium. He's going to have another Weaver. He can go teleport it in. He's just going to slowly break, because remember, Weavers do, what is it, 7.5% damage per attack on structures. Don't want to lose these gaunts. These gaunts are expensive. But there we go. There's another Weaver. You can get yourself up to like 4 or 5 Weavers, and this command post dies. It absolutely dies here. Master Pair, now there's another Shroudstone Manifest, but this command post is just dead. This cheese is disgusting. Coming out of Nina, or coming out of TheoRy, I love it, but Nina is going to be forced out of this game. Oh, man. Infernal beating Vanguard, Celestial beating Infernal. We're in crazy town this Friday night. You know Blues. Sad Pro Game can't even get out of the early game. Game 1 went 20 minutes. We had an hour-long CVI in the previous series. This is not the place to complain about that. It doesn't count. But yes, this series was a little bit faster, which I appreciate, because it means I don't have to miss my bedtime too much. This is Nina. Come on, let me. Nina TheoRy IVV.mp4. All right, friends. Thank you. So you have a couple tips for me. Let's connect next week. Zyro, by the way, again, I will be tweeting out the thing on Sunday. I will be tweeting out the thing. I will be tweeting out the announcement tomorrow. If you join my Discord, that'll be a notification when it goes live as well. So if you want to go and you said you want to do and support the event on Sunday, that's that. That's that. So for now, thanks so much for joining me, everyone. Really. Oh yeah. Oh no, never mind. Yes. Now I'm putting 2 and 2 together. I'm remembering which username this is. Got you. Okay. Thanks so much for joining me, everyone. I really appreciate the time that you've spent this evening. I'll be back on Sunday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, with two best of 7s, maybe some more if we can finagle things. But it's gonna be Elf and Parting. It's gonna be Bly and Mixu, IVV, CVV. Gotta get better acronyms for that. Certainly we do. And we're gonna go, and I'm gonna rate up probably Apoptosis, because they got, if you want more Stormgate action this nice, wonderful evening, there is the Chicken Man event. Oh, what's it called? The I forget what it's called, but anyways, the event that they're running right now, it's got a lot of awesome players, so you should go check that thing out. And if you like what I do what Iron Steel has done, for example, and follow this channel, because hey, we'll see more stuff. There's always more Stormgate content. See you on Sunday. Go check the YouTube out as well. And I'll leave you with these highlights as we rate up Apoptosis. Say hi to him for me. Exactly. This is a learning situation for me, because this is a matchup I'm very much struggling in, and I don't know what the answer really is against these big bio balls. Certainly once Mintex pop out. So Nina just taking advantage of this tree line, which means the brutes can't really get in there. The Gaunts can, sure, but they don't want to get close. And just, but I've also heard people talking about, like, once Weavers are on the field in this matchup, it also feels just kind of hard. So I don't know. I mean, I'm curious to see how this thing works out for now. Hellborn, of course, are in tier 3. They do have that Molten Touch, which means they just do a little bit more drip damage over time. Now, again, you got some med text. You're gonna all this army stuck in a choke here. If Nina knew about it, the Helicarrier bombing run would be so good. But as it stands, there we go. There's the bombing run on top of everything. Doesn't actually land all that well. I thought it would be a little bit better, but even still, Harbinger scouting forward, but no seismic slam. No seismic slam. Just applies Shroud so Infest can get applied for just a second. I feel like we want to add some. Oh, big bombing run, big bombing roll. God. Oh man, that I looked at that.